Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a great moment if you are a North American Apex Legends competitive fan. My name is Rainday, and I am here with Hey Girl, who will be casting our grand finals for North America, meaning we are crowning a champion. We are giving away PS5s. Well, it's not really giving away, girl. They got to earn them because first and second place take that. We'll get into the specifics later, but what you should know, top prizes, top competition happening right about now.
Yeah, a lot of competition we witnessed earlier. A lot of good stuff came down right to the wire to the very last game. So super exciting stuff will happen. We've got Storm Point, if you haven't watched earlier. That is the map that they're going to be competing on today. And I'm just so stoked to be here. It's been a great day of Apex Legends.
It certainly has. And for those who are interested in how to get involved with what we've got going on here, check out compete.playstation.com. This is where all of this is really handled and where you can really get yourself involved in these tournaments, whether you're playing or you're watching. Without further ado, though, we have to talk a little bit about what they can expect for today, girl, because we have a pretty similar format for our competitive fans to launch into and just build that beautiful bridge into what they expect and obviously what we've got going on for them. And that's your traditional BR format. We're going to have our trios, obviously, but we are going to then move into our even better 6 games? No, 5. That means you have less time to get it done, girl. And, you know, when you get it done, obviously that's where the points come involved. If you can be more efficient with your points, right, in 5, you can still get the job done as if you had 6.
Yep. And it's going to be a nearly full lobby. I believe we've got 18 teams here signed up today to be playing in the finals. And we're going to let you know a little bit more about how that works.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing, too. You know, when you talk about the lobby, we're not sure exactly which teams always can show up because they have to qualify for their first round and then get into these tournaments that are broadcast. So it's a little bit of a sledge, so to speak, of competition to get here, but they finally gotten here, and so what can they earn? Big prizing on the day. First place is going to take home $1,500, and second place is going to take home $1,200. $975 for third and fourth place. But get this, girl. First and second, they've got a little special asterisk to them. If you get that, not only do you get the top prize, but you each, every member on that team, gets PS5s as well. And remember, this is an all PS4 lobby, so they're going to go home with some brand new PS5s plus that cash. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that is super exciting. We got to give away 6 of them earlier today, and a lot of happy fans out there and a few broken hearts that weren't able to make it as well,
broken hearts.
Yeah, for sure, especially AXFF. They were so close to making those PS5 marks, and unfortunately they weren't able to. We've also got a point system to let you know about. If you haven't been watching Apex Legends competitive, there are points given away for placement. So first place is 12 points, second place is 9 points, third place is 7 points, and so on and so forth. But each elimination is also one point. So the more kills you get, the more points overall you get in total. So we've seen teams that go around the map, try and get as many kill points as possible, and then work their way in. And then we've also seen teams go to end zone and get their kill points from there on out. So there's a couple different play styles.
You know what the thing is, girl, too? The differences between that is that PMB and AXFF, who you mentioned, AXFF had about 30 kills, 20 points. But really the difference was that PMB had 20-something kills, but they had 30 points from placements. And those points from placements in that final game, which they got 9 for coming into second, was the difference in pushing them 2 points ahead of AXFF into second place. And that is why you can't just do one or the other. You have to play a complete game. Just a quick toss through all the stuff we have mentioned. Really what we haven't highlighted, though, is the specific teams that will be playing today. So we'll bring that up on your screen as well to see who is in the running for winning our PS5s and our top prizing, which is a very, very exciting prize, to say the least. We've got some familiar names, girl. We mentioned a lot of them, but BNB, Fake Preds, Rollers, I mean, Titaness, teams we've all seen perform very, very well.
Yeah, so BNB has been performing the best overall in our qualifiers, But don't leave Doja out because they have actually won our last qualifier. Fake Preds is also there in our top 3 in amount of points. But there are so much good competition. And there might be some underdogs that rise up from the top as we've seen earlier in EU. So make sure you don't count anyone out. Sometimes the teams that perform the best weekly don't perform here in our grand finals. The pressure's on for these folks.
As pressure continues to mount, you see that only pressure makes diamonds, and so we will see who is shining brightest at the end of this lobby. For those who want to shine bright as well and be involved in what we do here at PlayStation, check out compete.playstation.com. If you don't remember that line right there, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're watching, because we're going to tell you, because that's where the action is. That's where the magic is. It's like Disneyland, essentially. It's kind of like that vibe, but for tournaments and competing in Apex Legends and PlayStation. So compete.playstation.com, the happiest place on earth, essentially, if you're an Apex Legends competitive fan. So check that out, because Game 1 is on the way, girl, and I'm excited to get into the action here. Europe gave us a lot of treats. It gave us a pretty predictable story. North America, I tend to see that there's less security in North America. I tend to find that a lot of teams vie for that top spot. There isn't this massive blowout, but it could be different today.
That's true. It could most certainly be different. Earlier today, we've seen team comps mostly do well with a Horizon, Valkyrie, and Seer, but we've also seen a Watson team get up there in that top spot as well. So it doesn't matter what you end up playing, it's just how you end up playing. You could have a rough start and rise right back to the top, like we've seen earlier today. Or you could have a good start and keep that high rolling going and just win, 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 win. But like you said, I don't think one team is going to take over. I think it's going to be a mix and match here today.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Europe translate higher level play in a different way than North America. And NA, typically, I've actually seen, especially in like ALGS and some of these competitive lobbies outside of our PlayStation circuit, we've seen teams in Europe traditionally be more balanced, and so we have not seen the runaways from Europe. We've seen 4, 5, 6 teams in Europe that could easily win the day. North America has been a little bit more top heavy, but yeah, I'm predicting it differently here in the PlayStation ecosystem. One, I think that there are more risks taken in PlayStation, and I think those risks in a team like where you have maybe Baguette, who's been so consistent, sometimes those risks and those meta changes for teams when there's fake Preds, there's B&B, tip the balance in one way for one team, but they tip it in another way for another team. So maybe something like a lineup change, maybe going away from the Seer again, bringing in something like a Bloodhound, which, is not typical, but we've seen happen and be successful in some of these lobbies. In North America, throws this spanner into the works that really generates a team like Titaness that really starts threatening. And we see 3 teams in a position where nobody's out to the front, but they've got literally 30 points each heading into game 4, and it's like, wow, somebody's got to make their move. When is it going to happen? I think even CPT, when we watched this one of my favorite ones that they won, it was a win that I think was separate by maybe 8, less than 2, maybe 2 to 8 points in the very last game in a 3v3 that ended up terminating it all. So if North America continues down that path, I think we're going to see a very exciting game and tournament that goes down to the wire.
It's very likely that it happens, but really, ultimately, it's going to also come down to the drops. I wonder how many 50-50s. Earlier today, we've seen a lot of people share POIs, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the same for North America here in our series today. Who has chosen which POIs, meaning point of interest, which spots on the map that they're going to contest for or fight for, or are they going to give it up there at the end of the day? I think that's ultimately really important. I feel like dropping determines 1/3 of your game. Although you can still make it by dropping in a no-name area, going around, crafting, playing it a little bit slower. If you have a bad drop, if you have a bad contest, it puts you at a harsh spot on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's almost like dropping is so much of an opportunity to ruin your game, right? The wrong drop has so much negative potential that dropping decently or dropping very well, it's got that flip side. And it almost is like, well, it's so important because, this is where that randomness, that BR factor, that I'm not sure that I've got to get the right weapon, I've got to hope no one's here. that's why these pros often talk amongst themselves, whether it's a Discord, whether it's Twitter, and they claim spots. They say, hey, this is where we're going, this is where we're going. So it forces people to kind of almost be shunned by the community if you land where someone's claimed and has been landing, and it just, you like kind of ruin both of your games. Or, you know, it just allows you to make smarter decisions. So it's one of those behind the scene things that in high level BRs just works out, and teams do it before the game starts. But there is the occasion, girl, where people, you know, change up their drop spots and decide right when the drop ship lands.
That's true. That very much is true. We've seen teams like TXC land in multiple different areas, launch pad, fish farms, whatever, wherever the drop takes them. But
yeah.
I feel like if you want more of a sense of security, definitely claim a spot as your own. And if nobody does, if you do get contested quite often, I really always wanted to see one team drop wherever they wanted in multiple different POIs and take 50-50s. I feel like it would take a different kind of talent. But if you're able to do that, then you're never going to be able to get griefed in your entire career because nobody will know where you land, right? So if you're able to take 50-50s and just surprise a team here, surprise a team here, make sure that everyone's aware, then they can't split up on drop and just, you know how some teams have someone land far north, someone land far south. They can't do that anymore. If there are a few teams that decide, hey, we're going to land wherever we want, we're going to contest whoever we want, but that requires a lot of practice, a lot of strategy, a lot of things being thought out. I don't know if we'll ever see it in the Apex Legends meta, but I always was curious to see how that would play out.
I know, I am curious too. What do I really think? Your reaction to that? It's impractical, but it's the potential of it is possible. So I think maybe that's where pros have to think. You know, maybe there's just kind of this group of pros that kind of paves the way on that. It's definitely not going to be, you know, a common practice because what you're talking about is going into somebody else's home. I don't think there's a let's go back to sports, right? Imagine you're a sports team, and so you never have home field advantage, right? So you never play in your stadium with your fans. You don't have to travel. Every game, you're always in someone else's stadium. You perfect playing away. You perfect the, you know, not knowing things slightly as well as the other team who's always there. It's a strategy, but also there's a difficulty in, you know, constantly being either at an even place or at a disadvantage with the terrain. And that is something that is going to take someone, you know, would certainly change the way people think about drop spots. And I've always been open to that, too. I mean, I've had conversations, you know, back in when I first actually did my first Apex LAN. It's a funny story. I don't even think this guy plays Apex anymore. But he was around Fnatic. He wasn't on Fnatic, but he was around Fnatic. There was a team. And this guy complained so much that people were dropping where they were basically calling. And I said, so why not? Like, they're trying to beat you. Why are you mad at them for doing that? It's like, because that's not what we do. That's not, I was like, yeah, man, but, you know, you're out here to try to win. You're in a whole new country playing for, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, are you really, you know, you're just blaming. Like, you got to figure it out. This player was like, you don't get it. You don't understand. And it rubbed me the wrong way because I thought, man, never would I let that be my reason I go out. You know what I mean? I'd be thinking about, how do I adapt to this? What do I adjust? So there's a part of me that wants this whole thing to get turned over its head, and I think pros make it really easy on themselves, saying, I got here. And it's like, no, I would like a team to go ahead and cause havoc and land there and be like, what? And actually win it all. It's just, what team is going to do it? You know, what team's going to take that risk? Well, what about your team, girl?
My team? What, you mean like how do they drop?
No. Would you be the one to pioneer that strategy?
Oh, no, I don't compete anymore, but I think it'd be too hard for me as I'm not one of the top players in the Apex Legends scene.
Shush.
But I feel like if you had a very strong fighting team, I think it would be good. So, yeah, I would love to see someone do that because once it comes down to those match point tournament formats, that's where it really matters the most. If you're able to land on any top performing team, contest them, challenge them, either like ruin their game or kill them and then take their win, it's going to change Apex Legends.
That's a clip. right there. I'm putting that up on my YouTube Shorts. I'm getting 1 million views and 2,000,000,000 followers. Thanks, girl, for that. And I'll take it. Hey, we did a couple of guides preparing ourselves for this month of Apex Legends, talking about some things that could help you. And on Dropping In, we featured our newest guide talking about something that can help you with your teaming in Apex. So let's go ahead and roll that and see if we can find some value there.
If you want to succeed in Apex Legends, you should understand squad roles. The scout is the team's initiator. They're the first person into battle and provide crucial information to their teammates.
Using grapple.
The fragger's role is simple: deal damage. They use their raw aim and abilities to play off the scout's info and win team fights. The support is often the most passive player on the team. They play defensive Legends, anchoring the team's position and saving squad mates when things get dicey.
All right, let's do this thing.
The IGL is the team captain. They make decisions, call for rotations, and have the final say on the battlefield.
Follow my lead.
The IGL is usually the team scout, though some IGL shine in support or fragger roles.
Hell yeah. This ends now.
Choose your role and compete.
Fantastic.
Sign up for Season 2 of the Master Circuit and look out for our series for the best legends for each role.
I don't know if you heard it, girl, but that guy's got a great voice. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's all right. I know him. I've met him in person, even.
Whoa.
He's an all right guy.
Sounds like a dope, tall, great dude.
Yeah, I mean, tall might not be the word that I would describe, but nice smile. Nice smile.
Oh, nice smile. Thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm sure he appreciates
I'm
that.
sure he appreciated
I'm
that.
sure he appreciated that for sure. Yeah. Well, let's talk about it. I want to give ourselves a chance. We're getting into the game. We're jumping into this. I want to go to some Apex Legends IRL. We all had a chance to hang out over in the last couple of weeks at TwitchCon. One of the things that happened was you had a chance to compete in an actual tournament. You see, your playing days are over. You were just competing in a $200,000 Apex tournament like
tournament
2 weeks ago. Well, it's enough. It's more than most people at home. Have you competed in a $200,000 Apex tournament? Okay, well, comparatively, she's still competing. So talk us through maybe one of your favorite moments of that and maybe an interesting person that you met in the Apex community during that time. Go ahead. Pick whatever your pick is, girl. Give us a little bit of a sneak peek IRL in the Apex community.
All right, so there was a TwitchCon recently that happened, and I got to actually meet a lot of my moderators, my friends, my fans. I got to meet everyone that competed as well. There was a whole room. I got a couple pictures, actually. I just took some snapshots of the room because it was just like a really cool memory. And the stadium was really cool. I got to meet this guy named Rain Day. He was pretty cool. Follow as well. Yeah, Rain Day Gaming. Have you ever met him?
Oh my God, I love his YouTube shorts.
It's really hard, though, to compete in a LAN, though, I feel like. When you're not on your setup that you normally have at home, you're not on the same graphics, FPS. I did get to bring my mouse and my keyboard, yeah. And I actually brought my controller as well, but I left it in my hotel because I wasn't sure if we were allowed to bring bags into the event, so I didn't want to bring too much. I really wish I brought my controller, but it's okay. We did well. We did okay. It was a fun event. Who was my favorite or who was an interesting person? I mean, everybody was interesting. Everyone was super nice, actually. Almost no one was giving me those snarky vibes.
Snarky vibe.
Maybe only one person, but that's about it.
Let's talk about them. Who were they? Expose them right now. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Let's more of it is just a lot of these people. I'll kind of fire back. You can give me an answer too based on this because it was an open-ended question. So great kind of exploration into that experience as a player. The Apex community is so interesting. When you meet in person, everything is so different because we're all having these online personas, but also working online. So we're kind of like almost in a work environment every time we're connecting with each other. But then, outside of that, you kind of get to see certain people. Some people are a little bit different than you think. Hal, one of those interesting people that when I met in Sweden was funny because took me a while to actually go up and say something to Hal. I've been actually making a lot of videos on him. But I did go up and talk to him. He was like, hey, man, love the videos, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, oh, that's so funny because I had no idea that Hal was going to be that warm. And I think a lot of people look at players like from their online persona, maybe, he's always yelling at his teammates or, he always wants to win. He's got to settle it down, whatever it is. When you meet him in person, such a sweet guy, such a sweet, kind of humble, warm guy. That was maybe one of the surprising things. I think people who are in the Apex scene, I got to meet Fade as well. That was one guy that caught me by surprise. I said hi to Tifa Jessie, and then she introduced me to this guy, and I just had no idea who that was. I said, hey, nice to meet you. And he said, Fade. I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, Fade? And he was like, yeah. I was like, oh, my boy, come over here, And he was super, quiet on the reserve side, but really sweet, gentle kind of, person, and one of the biggest YouTubers in Apex Legends and one of the bigger streamers as well. So it was kind of cool having moments. And I had moments like that with a lot of different people that, it's just something that can only happen in person, right, girl? So it's kind of fun to have those exchanges.
No, I completely agree with you. I feel like it's just a different vibe. Sometimes when you're online, it's like there's a click here, there's a click here, there's a click here. But in real life, like when you're talking to someone face to face, it's just like, you're so nice. I want to do this more often. Where can we have another TwitchCon soon?
Right.
Like I want another event. I want to go to another LAN just because like the heartwarming vibes that almost everyone in the community just gives off. It's unreal. It's especially when you're at home for 3 years and you don't leave your room. Yeah. It's I miss it.
Well, if you don't know, we have a lot, to talk about from all the things that have happened leading up to this moment, all the things that are upcoming Apex Legends wise. But let me give you guys behind the scenes now a little conversation back on where we are with our tournament. We're just getting some things solved. We're having a couple player issues, and we are finishing those things up in just a moment. So no more waiting. You're about to get into game. So I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of that, IRL talk. We might sprinkle some of that more if something takes a little longer in the show, hoping it doesn't. But, of course, want to make things interesting for you as well as we wait. We're kicking off our game number 1 here in North America. We are on Storm Points, baby. And that means we are making it happen with the first game of 5 to determine who will be your grand final in North America.
Let us know who in chat that you're cheering for. Type it in chat. Let us know who you're supporting, who you're here to see, who you want to win, who you think will play well. I'm excited to see who's going to contest. I know that there's always a contest in Storm Point. I feel like almost always there is a contest that we're going to be witnessing. And now, as players choose who they are going to be playing, there's already a few Caustics. Caustic, Seer, Ash, Valkyrie, Horizon, anything that stands out. Oh, Outsiders is playing Rampart. That stands out to me.
Oh, wow. Packers on the Rampart. Look at that. We got a little Ash, too. I love some of the diversity we're seeing on some of the teams, though, that maybe we're looking at. ADMP, Dynasty to Wope, bringing back that Bangalore Seer Horizon combo, opting away from the Valkyrie, but we know how aggressive they like to get, girl. There's a lot of fun to be looking at, and maybe their biggest competitor rocking a similar but slightly different lineup with the Seer instead of the the Seer the Valkyrie instead of the Bangalore, and rocking the Seer Horizon as well. It seems like wherever Seer goes, Horizon goes as well, and then you have a choice of who to add into your third, which has really dictated how this meta has been lately in Season 14.
Speaking of besties, did you know that Seer and Catalyst aren't besties and they're from the same place?
Oh, I actually did hear that. I heard some people commenting, I wish Seer and Catalyst would be friends, but no, doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Well, we're witnessing our first fight here in the first game. Couple knocks, Blixie going down. Who's fighting here on the map? Couple teams at Fish Farms. Gonna have a revive going off here. No one eliminated just yet. Revive comes through. Heals are coming through as well. High Tribe doing their best to stay alive. They'll survive for a little longer. I don't know if they're going to actually full-on push this fight here.
Still waiting to figure that out. That's okay. Obviously, biding time is better than your dying time. And they're trying to do one to avoid the other. Major Kush. And then Kush Nuggets. All MB High Tribe. Captain Kush as well. I'm noticing a theme. And hopefully that synergy carries into their performance here in Apex. Nice shot. Gonna grab that purple box from the Flyer with the G7 Scout, a weapon that has been so good ever since it's back. And it feels just like Apex again to have G7 Scout back in the mix. You forget it really wasn't relevant much because of the fact that it was in the care package for so long and then just never really kind of had that same umph in the care package as before. A nice exhibit from Doja, who was under fire here, but hold the door while hitting that spray. Are you kidding? That would have been sick. Can't get it to go, though. But that was nice, girl.
That was really nice. He was trying to pull off a 1v3 there and did, in fact, knock, too. So it was a great try by Doja. One of our top 5 teams. They're going down first. Early Birds, CCS also eliminated. Route, Daniel Spams picking up some kills as well. We've already got the Watson generator down and everything. Starting off hot here in NA.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot everywhere. It's hot in my room right now. I need to put my fan on, really, so I can kind of tell you. I can kind of tell you what they're feeling down there. But even if not, you can understand. Competition, big prizing on the line. You don't need to figure out much else to know that they're going to be busting as hard as they can, working as hard as they can, and putting in a ton of effort to try to get a first place done. This is something I don't see very often.
No.
That's a pretty fortified attack machine, girl.
Oh, there's no top floor inside of this building here. As Harry Beanstalk's going to find out. But yeah, honestly, I haven't seen many Ramparts place their walls on top of the Trident. I don't think I've ever seen that in years. Not gonna lie, it's crazy, and I play Apex Legends a lot, but I haven't played this season's rank that much. So, unfortunate. Chickens, they're gonna hold off for their DC'd player here. 16 squads left. At least they're still alive. Zone's closing in. We've got 2 minutes and 28 seconds of preparation, but they are inside of that zone, so they'll be okay for now as long as they can hold this off. There is a team nearby, actually near the armory. I believe they're actually completing the armory, so that's what they've got to worry about. They see them, it's spotted. Shots are going to pop off, but you cannot go down here. If you go down here, ultimately you're going to get pushed, and your DC player is going to be sad. Now, what's that red beam?
Look at this. Now they're throwing the what's that red beam? It's Ramparts aiming down sights with her ultimate. So that's going to be a very it's a messy
she has
UI.
Her ultimate. Yeah.
She's got her ultimate out. This is like the most innovative thing. And they've got the Newcastle shield as well.
Wow.
The Apex Trident meta is evolving. Oh my god. What a machine.
They're having a good time here today. A little bit of a party over here. They're even going to destroy the generator. I wonder why.
It's not like you have to, right? I mean, you can just place your next one. Maybe the noise. It's probably the noise, you know?
Yeah, so you can hear footsteps coming on by. If anyone pushes you. We're getting fences down. Preparation is key. I don't think they know where the zone's pulling. Actually, if you didn't notice, they don't have a beacon scan character. They're playing Watson, Rampart, and Newcastle. So they're just going to have to guess where the zone's going to go and play from there. They do have the Trident to rotate later on. BNB, one of our top teams. Take a look at this. They've already got a knock. Awope's trying to get a second knock. He's scanning there in the building. There's no scans. Does not catch anyone. They get the thirst, though. He's just going to scout along here. Doesn't see anyone just yet, but I think there is a team nearby. He sees them now. Damage coming through. Crash. Oh my gosh! Best color going down. Oh my goodness. Awope almost going down as well. He's going to have to heal while his team pushes up, but that was some crazy tracking.
I mean, just through the bushes as well. You would have thought he had the Vantage passive on there. No, no, no. That's all Awope. This is why B&B have been at the top. Bread and butter, common phrase. Talk about something that is an easy go-to move for you, whether it's a fighting game, or whether it's IRL, something you like to do and are known for. Well, these guys are known for hitting shots. That's their B&B. And it's all in the namesake. You can see it right there. Thermite's a day late and $1 short. And they will clean that one up pretty easily. 3 kills to kick it off for B&B.
Quick kills as well. Doesn't look like they're getting third-partied at all, but they do have a little way to go. They do not have a Valkyrie, as you mentioned earlier, so you're going to have to walk it on in, like everyone else, without a Valkyrie. A lot of teams on that west end that they potentially might rotate through, so that's going to be a bit tough. Unless they decide to go west of Cascade Falls through the tunnel and south of there. But they are looking to go the side that is heavily contested.
Level 2.
Well, it is time to go for it. Game 1 always, though, doesn't feel that way. Just start slow. It's not a problem. The way most games evolve, though, is that it is a marathon, not a sprint. So Game 1, not only just showing all your cards, but also most of this early game is usually filled with a ton of conversation. One thing that we don't really expose here too often in our PlayStation tournaments, but is happening behind the scenes, are the communication elements that are going on. All the decision-making on how to play these final circles, how to approach, and whether it's just the IGL and getting feedback from the teammates or all the teammates having a spirited conversation. There's often more talking happening in these moments that feel like nothing's happening than in the team fights, because this is where all the decisions are being made.
Yeah, absolutely. I love listening to team comms. Out regretful might not be having the best team comms right now as he just went down. These shots are just beautiful by Awope. Perfect G7 scout mastery by him. But they've still got a couple more to kill. There's some pings above. I don't know if he scanned someone or what's going on there. They want to play above. Wants to play the rock. Okay, that's the communication there with the ping. Let's play the rock, play high ground. Don't overcommit since we got the thirst already.
Patience is a virtue for B&B. And with that G7 scout, Awope has done so much work. 500 damage may not seem like a lot, but boy, has that damage counted. And I think that's the lethality of the G7 scout showing its hand. Doesn't take too much in terms of overall damage to have the same impact as getting a quick 100, 200, and essentially putting a person out of the game.
It does not. I'm trying to figure out where the zone is pulling. It could either pull west of Jurassic, but it's most likely going to pull towards Barometer. There's already some teams going there towards the buildings. This is a hard zone to get into late, by the way. So if you're not there already, all of the buildings are going to be taken.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to fight. And once you fight, you start that dominoes effect. And teams come in third party, and everyone's going to die. You've got Tech, ratting, some gold armor, so easy heals. Milk Bros as a duo, but they've got a great spawn barometer. I like it. Situated themselves well. Oh, is that a bow? Did massive damage. Not quite sure what their heals are like. They got a few cells, so.
Such a good weapon.
Yeah, it is. I really like it with a 3x. I didn't like the bow before. I mean, I just didn't feel the satisfaction, but now I really do. Every time I hit someone, boom, boom, cracked, and then my teammates can go and finish someone off. It is such a great weapon.
Weapons that get you, you know how much of a weapon satisfaction is its ability to get you to the feeling of cracking an opponent's shield. How much of that is the determinant of if a weapon is satisfying to hit? Because I wonder if that really makes a difference. Because, you know, the second that crack happens, I don't care if you're using a P2020 or whatever, it feels good. You're like, oh, yeah, I got that shield crack, you know, time to push. But, you know, certain weapons, I mean, the more effective weapons tend to just get you there quicker. And I wonder if it's more about just how fast you can get to that ultimate feeling we're trying to have versus a weapon being naturally satisfying in general. And I'll leave you up one more, girl. Do you think if that's not what you think, is there a most satisfying weapon in general, regardless of whether you get a shield crack or not, that you think is in Apex?
Yeah, absolutely. The wingman. Hitting your shots with the wingman, probably the most satisfying feeling ever. But here's the thing. There's two types of people. There's one type of person that loves to track and have like a fully automatic gun and make sure that they hit their full clip. And then there's the type that like to use the repeater, the G7 Scout, the wingman, the Kraber, the one shot. One shot does a lot of damage, but it's just not a constant feeling.
See, you know, I think weapon is really satisfying. Like, originally, I didn't really like the card that much. And for me, it didn't have necessarily the natural satisfaction as a G7 Scout does. Because when I shoot a G7, and even more so than a 30-30, I feel connected to when that shot hits, when that bullet flies, and when that damage is done. It feels like it all connects. 30-30, sometimes I feel like I shoot a shot, it's a little weaker, I'll hold it a little longer, the bullet delay isn't there. But I think another example is like, man, sometimes when you hit like a longbow shot, pretty satisfying if you can hit like a couple longbow shots in a row, 2-3 shots in a row.
They're flying on another team.
It's a nice experience. Oh,
they dropped. Lucky enough, they dropped.
Actually,
that team was a duo as well, I think. Yeah, that's our duo playing up top.
Oh, no.
B1 is now getting griefed for it. They flew on top of another team, and that's the risk you take while playing Valkyrie.
Very, very good. By Parallel to just survive. That's actually not the team that they were pushing, I don't believe. Maybe it is. And it could have been that Caustic ultimate, now that maybe actually makes sense, was an offensive ultimate from the Caustic. They dropped down below, and then they got taken out. Because this is the duo that was up there. So it was an attempted, like, kind of Caustic ult off of that land to maybe push, and then two players decided to drop instead, and that might have been just the miscommunication. Once they landed there, you know, without the information, it was just two. They dropped, but they really should have pushed as a 3, because right then it just allowed Titaness to have MacFB find an easy shot from around range, and they were essentially signed their own demise. Oh!
Oh my, Afterdive taking down Packers. Oh look, everyone is on top of that Trident. Can they get a knock as the Trident rolls by? I think they're going to be able to. They've done a lot of damage. G7 Scout going through. Oh, it's not going to be enough. It is not going to be enough. Still 12 squads remaining. They're going to try and run forward. Did that other team? Yes, that other team actually got caught off guard. There was another team on the other side of that wall. Dinosaur Venom's still alive, actually, camping in that corner, as you can see there on the map. He's going to try and net himself some placement. And we were talking about that little cubby earlier that was attached to the zip line that one team flew onto the other. That is a very dangerous spot to hold. I was actually watching a professional game the other day, and you could get angled out from multiple directions, but as the zone gets smaller, then it becomes a god spot, and you could actually win from that position itself if the zone pulls towards you. Outsiders was eliminated. B1 was eliminated. We're less than 10 squads in.
And this is probably a little bit more aggressive of a beginning, middle, and end than we saw in Europe. Partially because in Europe, too, one of the best teams that we've seen kind of likes to hold back, find themselves in that final zone. Baguette, of course, LF, who were winners earlier today, and then win these games again and again and again. And it feels like maybe ADMP, our B&B friends, maybe Titaness, teams that have found themselves in those final zones, they like to push. They like to get involved. They're constantly in the fight. Axolotl as well, After Die going down there by KOF, Dano Nino, and Chickens here inside the building of the outskirts of Barometer towards the water. It did pull, but it didn't pull as deep as sometimes it does with the main tower involved. And it really has said this is the building that we're going to be concentrating on. And wow, it's a little bit of an aggressive moment, but you've still got Dynastied and BNB, I believe, playing underneath, or at least on top of that building, you know, on the southern side. They're going to have to move, though, girl. And right near them is also Fake Preds, a team they do not want to fight.
Fake Preds actually has a really good position here. I don't know if it'll be good in the next zone, but no one's here to contest them. No one's going to be walking over across the water to play versus them. So they've got the safest, I would say, out of the other 5 teams. Now, don't know what's going to happen after the zone closes, but they've already got a few kill points. They've netted themselves a good amount of placement points as well. BNB is still alive, though, one of their bigger contenders. Mimokusai going down from TRK. Oh my goodness, take a look at this spray.
Oh,
the card.
man!
Oh. That was so clean. Yeah.
it coordinated our words and our cadence. That was that good. There's only one thing to say: clean. And he just sets it up. Beautiful stuff from BNB. And now you can see Fake Preds as well. Under fire, but on the high ground, looking to go finish off a solo here. It'll be a 1v1 with Daniel Spams. Oh, no. No. That's Woko on his set. So they're just going to hold this outside rock. Daniel going back to where his teammate was. Playing off that high ground. And the two teams set to meet with a bunch of underdogs in the middle. Trying to play spoiler to this.
I'm wondering if they want to take the building. They know they can. They know there's a couple knocks inside. Its route is playing really aggressive. Daniel Spams is now coming on in. They know that there's those knocks. They're trying to finish it off. Daniel's going to go through the staircase. Will he be able to catch one off guard? The gas, though, spots him out. It's a very dangerous situation to be in. One caustic ultimate on top of you can slow you down, and then you'll just get one clipped, right? But so they actually got the full recovery inside.
Wow, look at this. Beautiful plays there from Dynastied on BNB. G7 Scout, certainly meta in North America. We've seen nearly every player in this end zone carrying at least one. Popping out the Bangalore heirloom in between. Showcasing that pilot's knife.
Who do you reckon has the best spot? For me, it looks like BNB do have the best position. But it could be the team underneath as well. It's tough to say.
It's good information for BNB. They know exactly what they have to do, and they don't have anyone to their front. The problem is there's a lot of teams, specifically Daniel and Woko and its route of Fake Preds, who have a chance to be maybe the second or third person into this engagement. Unless ADMP is really, really careful about engaging them and having enough people to support him, Awope and Dynastied, when they push, so it's not an isolated ADMP versus the rest of Fake Preds, who he's going to be trying to hold off from that rock to come into the middle in just a second. It should be, I think, BNB with the best spot. They just have to make sure that people look at Fake Preds. They do not let them get in for free, because that would change everything, I think.
Fake Preds have already gotten a knock or a thirst on one of the players from underneath the bridge. One of the little trolls underneath the bridge. Nice shots by Dynastied, but not quite enough to get the knock, to get the kill. Titaness was eliminated. We're at our top 4 right now. Oh my goodness, the beam's coming in with the R301. Are they looking at Fake Preds? Where did Fake Preds end up going? There they are, going up into the sky. They're shooting 72, just like that. The tracking has been insane. Chickens is eliminated. We're at our top 3 right now, Rain Dave.
Wow, amazing stuff. Fake Preds still alive, but so is Dynastied, Awope, and ADMP. Exhibits come out across the board. It's like a museum. Everyone has a chance to view the gallery, but who's going to come out unscathed? And who will have fingerprints on the painting? BNB leaves untouched and in immaculate condition as they take game number 1 here in our North America Grand Finals.
They grabbed that painting and put it into history, into the museums. They get the only win, the first win of the day for North America. Wonderfully played by them, and actually they had a fair amount of kills too. So we've seen this earlier in EU. Once you see that one team with a lot of kills and a win, everyone else starts to get nervous.
Oh, and I would too, especially when you see who has it. It's one thing if it's, Johnny and, the chicken crew, right? You don't know who they are. You're going, all right, well, we're fine with that. But then you go, fake breads, B&B, Baguette, oh, man, that's like the leader, and they already just popped off. That's going to be even harder now to make sure we beat them eventually, considering they're probably at 24, 25 points. We're at maybe 2 to 7 points. So it's definitely made things harder. Definitely can get on you mentally. Yet there were still really a nice, almost like parallel. It felt like we got down to really the essence of this lobby, which is fake Preds on one side, ADMP, Dynasty, Awope on the other side, repping B&B, and we got to see what does it look like when there's a lot of people in the middle, but it's going to come down to these top 2.
Unfortunate that Doja had a bad start as well. I feel like they could have been a good contender to be into that final circle, but they were contested, and we were talking about it. The teams that get 50-50 contested, even though they're good players, something could mess up off the drop, and there you go. The prize is out of sight. But here today, prizes go to first, second place, and actually to everyone in the lobby, cash prizes. But ultimately, if you want those PS5s, you got to make first or second. These were some nice shots by Exotl there.
They were. Even better, this play right here. We both had to pause a little bit. This is what I like the most. The switch and the slide, the tracking with the mid-air crouch. Beautiful stuff. Just clean. You can see Dynasty continued there. 12 kills at the very least for B&B. And I would imagine they put at least 2 more on the board here, finishing off this kill and then finishing off the other to go ahead and make sure that it was them taking the final win. Great stuff from B&B. And oh my, yeah, it was definitely at least 12 kills. That looks like a 21 kill game. Add 12 points to that. It's a 33-point masterpiece. This is something like what we saw Sweet and Hal put together in that final Twitch Rivals game. It's close
We don't
to
talk
something
about
like that. Oh, we talk about that game. Talk about that game.
Yeah, no, seriously, it is a 30 plus game, so everyone else is going to be shaking in their boots right now. Dynasty even had Bangalore Ultimate at the end, unused, untouched. They still had so much utility that they never even needed, just because they situated themselves in such a great position. And they were aggressive. I feel like the real big difference between North America and the EU today has been the amount of pressure and fighting that NA just do right off the bat.
Definitely. It does feel that way. If you see stuff, differentiating between the regions and you watch both regions, not everyone does, but for those who are the true loyalists here who stick with no matter what Apex action is on, they're catching it. Yeah, it's fun to see the parallels, fun to look at it. And in different sports, too, you can see that across the world. I mean, in football, soccer specifically, you get to see, what's the Premier League like, what's La Liga like, the Spanish league, right? In Spain, you get to see what is the Bundesliga, the German league, or, the Parisian league in France. You get to see what the MLS is like, right? The American league here. And it changes the pace and the style and what's accepted. And I think that is a great aspect of competitive online too. We still see those regional differences. And what's even more interesting is that it has nothing to do with athleticism, right? It's like, it's not about like, oh, these people are just different people, therefore their bodies are different, they play a different, it's like, you could tell it's very cultural, right? In terms of the fact that these regions have these different like ideas of how to approach competing, and it shows up in even these digital esports. So that's something I kind of find very fascinating about the differences.
Yeah, I really like that. I think the best tournament for me was seeing like a very worldwide tournament where you see like different play styles actually come to life, where you see a bunch of different regions coming together and just fighting against one another, and you see the top of the best. And honestly, that's actual top tier Apex Legends. Maybe we'll see that in PlayStation tournaments someday. Looking forward to that. But let's take a look at these leaderboards. So 33-17. They're doing a great job staying ahead of the pack. And these are the teams that didn't do so well. But we're only 1 game out of 5 in. And any one of these teams could still make it to first or second place.
Well, B1 Milk Bros, they're going to have to get it going. They're going to have to turn up the heat. Not sure how milk does in heat. But hey, I heard a glass of warm milk is, kind of a ailment, cure for not being able to sleep or an upset tummy. I don't know, at night. Well,
with a little bit of cinnamon?
Yeah, a little bit. You ever had that before? That sounds kind of good, actually.
I've been recommended that before, yeah.
Warm milk with cinnamon. Really?
Cinnamon, yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember if there was
Let
honey
us know.
involved, but...
Is honey involved?
Yeah.
You're
I don't
almost...
know.
Was there espresso, too?
No.
You sound like you're making a latte. Hey, you're getting close.
Forget
There's
what
foam,
it was for.
Foam, shot of espresso, cinnamon. Yeah, you're just talking about a latte.
That's your kind of stuff. That's your forte there.
If you
espresso
keep
machines.
If you keep adding ingredients, it's getting close. There's nowhere else it can go. There's nowhere else it's going.
Isn't an espresso like coffee?
Yeah, I know that. Well, that's the joke because you keep adding. First
little coffee
it's
beans
milk.
and...
Yeah, well, cappuccino. You get coffee and you have milk, and then usually cinnamon or some type of sweetener like honey or You were getting there. You're not a coffee drinker, so
No.
You're more of a tea drinker. But that's okay. That's okay, girl. We can still get along. We can still have
Tea,
this.
milk tea. No, mostly tea though. I really like tea. I don't know. My brain thinks tea is healthy, so I like to drink
It is.
tea.
Tea is healthy. It's
Tea,
great.
water. That's pretty much all I do. That's all I drink.
I used to be like that until I was until
Old?
until I got old. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Just
Thank you for
kidding,
putting it.
just
No, thank you for
kidding.
putting it so eloquently and it was just so tactful the way that
You're
you
definitely not old. You are definitely not old. I've got gamers that watch me that are in their 50s and their 60s. There is no old. All
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
We're all
That's
still
what I'm
young.
saying. That's it. There's plenty of time. This gaming thing is just kicking off, and plus,
True.
I like to call it experience. You have some experience in there, and that's actually one of the things that I think I got to add a little bit more. I'm drinking some tea. I'm not going to show you what it is, but I am drinking some tea.
What kind?
You're not going to believe this, and I'm not even going to say it.
Don't say chamomile or something like that.
Oh no, I'll tell you the type because white peony.
I heard of peonies from a show that I recently watched. It's a flower. All right,
I get-
everyone
yeah.
watching.
Oh man,
I heard they smell really good, but send me some of that tea. I'm interested.
Ooh, it has another main ingredient. I don't think. You know what? There's not a problem with it, but it's got a connotation because it's in something else. But it's essentially a very interesting flavor. It's like a mashup. It's like a tea mashup. Think if something was like tea plus, like I don't know. Someone tried to make like root beer tea, right? Like it was like another drink.
It's a fizzy tea?
Yeah, it's a fizzy tea. So imagine if it was like another drink and the tea. Wow, this is people watching from home are getting some really interesting conversation here, and I just want to take a second.
Really are.
I just want to take a
So
second
am
to
I.
say, are you hydrating? Go drink some water. Go get some tea. Go get some. If coffee's your thing, I might have an energy drink after this because I'm pumped. I want to stay pumped. We've got more games coming up. It's our grand finals. Just saw B&B take the win. My name's Rain Day. We're here with the girl, Hey Girl on Twitter, at Rain Day Gaming on Twitter. Hit us up with your questions, comments. No concerns because there aren't any concerns. We're having a great time here today. But talk to us because Game 2 is underway, and we're going to get into the champion selection screen right here on Storm Point. I wonder if we'll see that Rampart again. I certainly enjoyed what that team was doing, and I'm going to get their names right here. With the Watson generator on the Trident and the Rampart fence on the Trident girl, what will they bring to us next?
Who knows? I mean, this could be the new trio lovers going on in. But for now, I don't recall them doing too much last game, so I like to see them pick it up this game around. What I'm looking forward to is the fish farms contest. Don't tell me statics on Revenant. Do you see that? Is that locked in? That's locked in.
Oh my.
Zypher, Team 17
on the Revenant, and you got Chrome on the Vantage.
But there's no Octane. How do they move from one end to the other?
Very, very strange setup right there. Wow, I want to check in with them. I definitely want to check in with them. Static, you were talking about, and then Outsiders is our team with the Rampart. So early game, if not much is happening, it'd be great to see a couple of those teams because they've got some interesting lineups. And you know what? In my opinion, if you go take a risk like that in a game like this, you deserve to get a little highlight. Just because maybe it doesn't work. Like, that's accepted knowledge right now, but maybe, just maybe, you're on something. You've practiced something, and it's like, hey, I'm going to show the world what we've done, and we catch the start of a new meta in Apex. I'm always hopeful for that.
So I believe we're going to see another 50-50 contest in fish farms. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. But are we seeing also a 50-50 contest in antenna? Titanus are landing there. Nope, no one will contest them thus far. Static's going launch pad, I think, with 2 other teams. Oh, and take a look at that. There is actually no contest in fish farms as well, so take a look at the wall. There's 2 teams there. Other than that, there's 2 teams launchpad. Actually, 3 teams near launchpad. So not spread out enough. Shipfall is free. And command center's somewhat free. Wait, is this fish farms? Oh,
Yeah,
they are. They did contest. I didn't see because they were right on top of each other.
Oh, man, and Doja, it's already not starting well, but sometimes that can work, right? You have one team member go down, and what does that serve as? It almost serves as like the bait for when you're fishing. You know they're going to go after that player. Oh, my God, hitting these wingman shots. I like the confidence. I like going in and out. You just can't abandon this fight too early, and they don't. Doja. And Juwan, look at that, girl. You talked about how satisfying it was to hit your wingman shots. Well, that'll do.
Yeah, that was crazy. I did not expect Horizon to go through that door, just run on in like he had nothing to lose. And he hit those shots enough. I almost felt bad for his teammate there as he left the room to reload, but it worked out. In the end, they have won their second contest. So now it's a 50-50. 1 bad game and 1 good game, potentially, anyhow. Okay, OCW. They're on the height with the Sentinel. Most people that go for this contest always go for this height just because they can look down. If you hit 1 or 2 Sentinel shots, your teammate can clean up the rest. Although now Smooth doesn't really have a close range gun to compete with. And the team that they're fighting up against is actually leaving, so they've got time to loot up if needed. Don't know if they know that, but they do have a seer, so they should be able to get that information soon.
Information. What would you say that, if you cut Apex into a pie, how much would just information matter in terms of winning a fight over, you have mechanical skill, you got, teamwork and timing. Information, how much of the percentage of mattering, whether win or lose, would you put that in? 20%, 30%, 60%? Where would you put that?
That's a tough question because even though you might win the fight, it doesn't guarantee that you won't get third-partied. And it depends what you include as information, right? Like playing the rock correctly, is that information? Would you consider that information?
I would consider knowing the elements of knowing the entire situation, right? Going in without, hey, I know 2 of their 3 shieldings, but I don't know the 3rd. But I also know where the second, the 2 people I'm fighting are, but I don't know, maybe where that last one is. Or maybe I'm busting into a door, with a kick, and I know, like, the person holding the door, but I don't know there's another person flanking around the corner, right? And coming up underneath. So that would be like, if you know all those things, regardless of skill, do you think that, I guess the point I'm making by just bringing that question up, I think that matters about 50% of a fight. I mean, I think
50?
mechanical. Yeah, I do. I really do. I think having all of the information makes fighting so much easier, because part of what you're dealing with here is you're guesstimating. You're assuming you're doing it. If someone is making a flank or putting if you know two people are coming at you, right, and they're leaving one person isolated, how easy is that to just rotate as a third, as three people, go to the isolated person, now it's a 3v2, right? But if you're not sure the two people are hard pushing you, right, then we're just going to take that fight normally. You're going to wait and see what happens. Then once it happens, you're going to start making assessments. I think information, and this is why I wanted to ask, it's a big, big deal. But it's very theoretical, it's like it's hard to quantify. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that, which...
Let me give you an answer now that you've explained the small details. I definitely don't think it's 50. I think it's got to be less than 50. The reason why... Okay, let me explain the reason why first. The reason why I think it's less than 50 is because even though you don't have the necessary information, and it just comes to you, like someone comes behind you, misses a couple shots, you can turn around and kill them if you're just better with movement, with skill, mechanical. So I don't know. I would classify mechanical skills over information. Just because you're the smartest information-wise does not mean you're going to be able to even shoot your gun. So you definitely have to have more mechanical skills than information.
Okay, so let's assume that everyone in a pro lobby is equally mechanically skilled, to the degree that it doesn't matter if one of you has a clean beam on the other, you're going to win. Right? You're going to hit your shots, okay? Because that's not a hard thing to assume.
Everyone has aimbot.
Everyone has aim. Everyone has enough of aim to be similar to where your aim isn't so much better that it's a statistical advantage over me, because we're all good teams, right? Stay with me here. So what if someone just gets the first shot because they know you're coming around the corner, or they know you're not looking in this area, and they get that first shot? Shouldn't they just win? Assuming other things are relatively equal. If I can shoot 100 damage on you first, I feel like there's a little bit more credit to having enough info. And I think that's part of the thing too. Why Apex is, different play styles. I think mechanically you can get away with a lot of things, but I'm not sure if that actually means information is devalued. But I don't know.
Oh, take a look at that information. Not needed. Chris Uwu taking down Lizoku. Oh, no, going down. Oh, Dojo is eliminated. Max going to win by...
Okay.
Just shooting that gun.
This is a great moment. I know we're sticking on this, but okay.
Yeah.
So that player was firing, right? That player was approaching the other player, okay? They both traded pretty similarly. That player ran into a building, so then what happened? The player who ran into the building knew that player was coming in, and he just literally beamed him. The other player knew that player ran into a building, but he didn't know if he went behind the pillar. He didn't know if he was reloading. He didn't know if he was running away. He walked into a beam, and so that other player knew that he was chasing and just set up an easy shot. That's what I'm talking about, information. That's what I kind of mean, But again.
Yeah.
Again,
I mean, they both had information upon each other, right?
Not when the person left line of sight. Do you think he knew he was just waiting for that beam? Maybe.
Well, when he was going in, Chris was right on the screen, right in the middle of the open. Wasn't even using any cover or anything.
It's an interesting. It's an interesting conversation, because where that first fight happened, it is different than where that second fight happened.
That's got to be gun skill, That's definitely gun skill right there.
See, that's the thing. I mean, that's what I think that's my fundamental conversation about it, because I think at a certain degree, in just like general play, gun skill obviously matters, and it matters a lot. But when you get into a lobby where people are, and maybe this lobby is also, there is a little bit of varying gun skill, but I think when you reach the higher levels of professional play, and you're talking about, some of the best teams here, B&B, Owope versus Dynasty or something, gun skill isn't separating them. So then what is separating them? What is the difference that
Intuition.
Okay, so intuition is just basically knowing, right? It's like a sense of knowing and understanding what's going to happen.
A sense of reacting, yeah.
So I think, reactions are huge. intuition and I think like adaptability in like the moment. Like how can you deal with like something you didn't plan, right? But then, you know, if you do have more information over the other person, I think that's another like major part of what typically wins. But there's other elements too, like what else would you put in here, girl? Because we, you know, 14 squads left. We've seen some people die. Positioning, right? Is information a part of positioning? Or, you know, I think positioning is a separate thing. You know, having a better position, massive element to obviously winning against the team who in all other areas would be of equal skill. And, you know, we see that obviously played out every single end game that we do. So very, very interesting to kind of dissect it all because all these moving pieces, they're not separated in game. They're all connected. You know, you can't separate your information versus your gun skill. But
right.
Yeah, but, you know, theoretically, it is kind of interesting to be like, all right, I'm a player. What do I got to work on? What really is going to, you know, looking at these elements of what makes a good player and what makes a good team and what actually, you know, wins a fight.
Legend abilities at the time, too. They could come into factor.
That's true. Ability usage, right? Certain abilities have a high skill cap, so meaning, you know, you could use that ability and get like a little bit of value, but the best player could use that ability and get a ton of value. So, you know, some abilities like maybe Horizon's Q can be used really well by someone and like win a game, like we saw in EU with Baguette, where AXFF jumped up on the Horizon Q, got a shield battery off, jumped up again, kicked Z Stereo off the lamp, won a 1v1 as they fell and got second place. Unfortunately, didn't get them second place overall as PNB took that in the final game, but you know, there's definitely abilities that come into play too.
Oh man, you've riled up my brain.
That's
now
all I'm trying to do.
Watch. Yeah. So, information in your eyes is pretty much anything and everything and anything.
Information is knowing something.
Knowing information.
More than your opponents. Essentially, my advantage is that, you know, I know you're going to push me here, right? I already, you know, and that you're kind of leaning into intuition and stuff like that, right? All things being equal, yeah, that's kind of what I would consider it. If you have a better definition or someone in the chat has a better definition or is tracking our conversation, I think it's, you know, interact with us. Let us know what you think about this because, you know, as casters, these are the types of topics we have to think about, develop, and then also, you know, I think it's almost like a theoretical essay and then bring that to the audience to say, you know, what do you think? Here's this point. Here's that point. How are you agreeing? And, oh, yeah, that is interesting. Let's incorporate that. Or, nah, let's scratch that. Let's move on to something else. It's really this. Either way, it still makes things interesting.
Oh, weapons also, right? Just because you know that we're pushing you around this corner doesn't mean that you're going to win, even if you do pre-fire. What if we have Kraber? What if we have Mastiff? What if we just rise and queue up and ult ya and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much intricacy that goes on. Oh my, fake Preds. Oh, is he missing a couple shots? Nope, he does it. Let's take a look at the map to see if they're actually going to get third-partied. Oh, take a look at this fake Preds getting pushed. Chris Uwu doing some good damage here. Popping the shield battery. Daniel's down. Woko, last one alive. Can he get a... Oh, no. Can he get armor swap? No, he's going to use...
Ooh.
This is good. Oh, he did get the armor swap.
Oh, no! I think you... Oh, he's too late now. Are you serious? So risky.
No.
I think you should have tried to fight that. Was he out of ammo?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure, but I'm on board with you. He should not have held
that med kit that long. Maybe a syringe and then pop back up. But, oh, my God. These teams are falling like flies. What a moment here. A lot of damage taking place on our north side of the action. Our northwest, east side specifically, as the teams start to move. We've seen this type of down beast circle before, but it's actually going to be a little bit north this time, outside of down beast towards the caverns running through. I don't know what you like to call them, girl, but kind of the open tunnels. Certainly familiar terrain for people who play on Stormpoint as B&B clean up yet another one, taking down B1, who's just half of B&B, who have two Bs.
It's actually really interesting to watch NA. Now that I think of it, B&B does not have a Valkyrie, right? But I don't know if that would have worked in EU. Because of the fact that so many teams fight, There's so many open positions for them to walk through, for them to rotate through, in and out. But would this work in another region? I'm not quite sure. They have great weapons, and they actually have another care package. Are they going to take a look at that? They don't want to risk it. They don't want to die for it. Bow shots are going to come through, but the rotation is of utmost importance, and they're rotating away from the zone.
All right. And, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how this all unfolds, too. Nice Horizon ultimate to try to get things going, but I don't think it's going to be enough for Mimokusai. It definitely will at least get the introduction underway. And you know what? Maybe it is. My goodness. Didn't look like it did too much. The follow-up was delayed. But they've come out on top. B&B out of there for now, rotating towards the zone, have left the chaos behind to approach greener pastures. There is one team sitting in the middle of that too. But B&B will have some really nice flexibility, not just because of, you know, where they are initially right now, and with the bow, the pressure and the presence they're going to have from range. But the Bangalore is just uniquely, I think, equipped to handle these little bit more open circles as the headshot threatens from Awope to create that mobile cover with the smokes that not every team is going to have access to, girl.
Yeah, this is good damage, especially now that they know the other team has blue armor as well. But they're outputting some good damage right back at them. Rollers MX is still inside of this game. There's still 7 squads. Titanus as well. Chris doing massive amount of damage. Chris is actually getting so many entries today. Definitely MVP for Titanus thus far, seems like. Mac doing a great job. Getting the scan off. The zone's coming in. They do not want to tank this one. This one hurts a lot. Rollers MX eliminated to the likes of Titanus. So we're down to 6 squads. Good run for Rollers MX. They did have a few kills earlier. Got aim assist rotating on in with Valkyrie. This is the information Rainday was talking about. Valkyrie ultimate provides them some safety on the landing.
That might be the best example of information being valuable right there. Not necessarily in a team fight, but how many lives does that save from Valkyrie Skyward Dives, just knowing where people are below? I mean, so many people without that little green icon would land in a spot they think is good, and they'd like have 2 people who've been, you know, camping there be just, hey, what's up? Free money. It's a very interesting.
Do you think Valk would be viable without that scan in the air?
Yeah, I think so. But I think she has a bloated kit. You know, she's got everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she'd still be viable without being a recon legend, because I think you could probably fit another recon legend, because they've been all so good lately, like into your lineup, but not in the same way. You know, I just think that right now Valkyrie is the meta. You know, I think it naturally lends based on her Skyward Dive, but yeah, it helps that she can do a lot of other things really, really well too.
That's true. Just in a building team fight, she can be at top 4, she could be bottom, she could be 3rd. B&B though, they're everywhere as well, to be honest with you. They're getting a lot of kills. Once again, this is just reminding me of EU, honestly. B&B has been dominant 2 games in a row. Can they get the win? They do have the Bangalore ulti in case they need it. They didn't have to use it last game because things were easy enough for them. But this game, they've got the whole map covered. They've got the whole circle covered. They're split up here. Oh, and take a look at this. Titanus is going to be in a fight as well. They're angling the low ground team. Ramen taking some damage. Vestcolor trying to defend him.
Titanus pushing in. Lovitz with an arc star. It's going to force some movement there. Bangalore smoke and the gold. But it's not going to last long. It's these PK shots, and TC goes down. Titanus with a shield swap and a top 3. 3v3v3 is what it is now. Awope, Dynasty from B&B still alive and very, very well. 3 red shields, seeing their next opponents crumble each other's plans like a cookie in front of them. And boy, oh boy, it does look delightful. Quite appetizing to approach. Gulio goes down, and again, looks like we're going to be very close to seeing a top 2 here from Titaness, but they've got to find, if they do have time, the solo player who is still alive. And LSC Unknown might just take second here because Titaness is going up against BNB, and it feels like maybe BNB now with Lovitz down is going to find that final kill and hopefully clean this up and deal with the solo afterwards.
The way Dynasty is utilizing the cover as he's shooting, it was definitely perfect. Now I think it's a 1v2 situation. Awope, though, got the armor swap. They're going to get the revive. Unknown, not capitalizing off of their low damage. So it's going to end up being a 1v3. Looks impossible. Feels impossible. but there's always a chance.
Hey, girl, he's got all the information he needs.
He's got all the information, Rainday. What's stopping him from winning?
Oh, wow. Well, at this point, maybe I have to adjust my hypothesis there because, yeah, that didn't help at all. And it certainly wasn't 50% of that equation. I guess numbers also is a big deal. 3v1 versus 1v3. That might be the biggest guarantee of a victory in Apex Legends. That is for sure. It's interesting, too, we have a game that changes with the way that, time to kill is in other games, whereas, games like COD, games like PUBG, going back to other battle royales, a one-shot headshot is available for pretty much most snipers in the game to, finish that up. So you put Shroud in that rock situation, he, headshots one person, you're like, okay, well, this is actually doable. Apex, no. The time to kill is too long. Weapons don't one-shot. If you do, somebody can go heal while you're doing it. The things that have to go right to 1v3, it's nearly impossible with high-level players. But congrats to BNB for shutting it down yet again. 2 games in a row. We're looking like, are we having a run back of Europe?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Doja here, Jay, just going inside that door of full fight style. Kind of surprised me, but they ended up winning it anyway, so it's great for them, having that little comeback. But that's what I mean. If you 50-50, one team wins one round, your team wins another round, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage. Instead of playing 5 games, you're playing 4. Unfortunate. Chris, right there, getting shot in the back end, the turnaround with the car SMG. One of my favorite SMGs, by the way. I don't know if you saw my clip on Twitter the other day, but the car SMG kind of hitting lately for a lot of these teams.
I think the Vol also saw a little bit of a resurgence coming back out of the care package here. People getting excited about that one. The car certainly reigned supreme and has been reigning supreme over the last few seasons, taking both ammo types as well. Not sure if I can get over the Spitfire being light ammo, but that's a conversation for another day. Titaness doing a good job. Lots of kills to Titaness name, so we'll have to actually pay attention to their final score because I think they've definitely jumped up the ranks here. But it would just be a simple cleanup for BNB. ADMP, Awope, and Dynasty truly slaying through the lobby here and handling it with such class.
Yeah, I'd like to see their statistics if we can, because I feel like Chris got so many entries there and they were in so many team fights. They've done a great job. Aim assist, Unknown, doing a good job to get second place too, right? That's another 2 points in placement. No extra points in kills just because they didn't get any there, but every point matters, and we're going to have to see that at the end of the leaderboard. But let's take a look at this accuracy. 18, 20, and 18%, but how many kills did we end up racking up?
Wow, look at that. That's 17 points. 17, right? Yep, 17 kills. A brilliant showcase. I mean, I'm not sure how close Titaness is on that either, but yeah, 17 to go for BNB. Off a 33-point game, add that 17. They're sitting on 50 points here. Minimum. No. This is 17 kills, so they got another 29 points. Look at that. Oh, my God. So now what's that quick math? 62 points that they've got here? Crazy stuff for BNB. As we'll bring our leaderboards in a second. But both 2 out of 3 teammates consistently hitting over 2,000 damage each in a competitive game. That's not normal.
No, and actually, it looks like they've been holding hands because the amount of assists one another have as well. They're all in that same fight. They're all tagging every single person that they possibly can, and that shows why they are dominating in every single team fight. They're just synergy, going in all together, all at once. The Horizon, weirdly enough, doesn't have the most damage just because they're all going in and it's who sees that enemy first. who can get the damage before their teammates. It's almost a challenge within themselves at this point because they're double Titanus's points.
Yeah, we're starting to see it here, and yeah, I thought we might have a couple of teams at 30. We have a team at 30. We have a team at 30. They just have 32 more points plus the 30. I guess if you split it in half, there's a few 30 points there. It's just two of those halves went into B&B. And they're just leading the lobby by far. Aim assist, fake breads, all right. But Titaness with that big jump, yeah, 19 eliminations, have found themselves sitting pretty in second. Rollers MX, though, showing some good moments. We've seen Danino and Mokusai, specifically in Mercenary, really pop off in previous tournaments. And fake breads always have a chance. They're hanging in there. Game 3 going to determine a lot, though, girl. I think if somebody besides B&B can win this one, unlike how we saw with Baguette in Europe, it's going to open this thing right back up again.
It's really unfortunate for Doja, too, because they actually won our last qualifiers, and to see them at the bottom 10 of the leaderboards is quite surprising to me. But there are a few more games to be able to catch up. Just a reminder to everyone at home, every placement grants themselves a cash prize, and the top 2 grant themselves some PS5s, some lovely PS5s. So that is what everyone's truly fighting for, I believe.
One of these days, you and I have to have a 1v1 on dropping in for a PS5. But, you know, this time I caught you off guard. Next time you'll be ready. But I got to say, that would be some good content. And afterwards, we'll have to do a PS5 review, whoever gets it. I like that. That way PlayStation gets something in the mix as well. Listen, I love what we're doing here, and you know what we're giving away. You know what we're about, and if you want to be involved, compete.playstation.com is the place to go. You can see all of the information about how to get involved in PlayStation tournaments, the Master Circuit, or anything else that kind of suits your fancy in terms of competitive play on PlayStation there. And remember, compete.playstation.com, you could be the next person that we broadcast here live. This is Rain Day. I'm with Girl. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up, though, we've got Game 3 and 4. And Game 3 really can set the table for who's going to win this Grand Finals. Don't go anywhere.
Challenging me to another...
We're back. You're back. It was a quick break. Hopefully you got some water, got some coffee, maybe got some tea, or maybe just, chilled out, sat down, stared aimlessly into the oblivion, and wondered what life was really about. Either one of those choices is fine with me. And, of course, my co-caster girl, at least I think so, as we head into Game 3 of our PlayStation Tournament's Grand Finals. And, of course, in North America, things have started the way they finished and started in Europe, too. B&B taking Game 1 and Game 2 just like Baguette. What is it about having Bs to start off your name that guarantees wins in our Grand Finals Games 1 and 2? We'll have to wait and see if that translates over to more of the tournament, though, girl.
I think that's about 50% of what it takes to win a game, but, I'll leave that open to everyone to interpret. Titanus at 30 points. Still possible for them to overtake B&B, but it's going to be difficult, especially because of how good B&B's team fighting has been.
Well, DMB is going to be hard to beat, no matter who comes up, even B1, who are just wishing maybe they had a second B to compete with the leaders of the lobby. Chi collectors, too, going to have to collect some of their own chi and improve their energy here in this matchup, but I think it's possible. We've seen some big transitions happen. Viper Squadron was a team that made a couple of mishaps early, bounced back in Game 2. We also saw a team in Europe, girl, the name is slipping from me, make a big jump. Sekili, who actually jumped from the bottom 10 all the way up into, I believe, 6th place. 8th or 6th? Yeah, okay. Something like that. So it was a really big jump for them, something where they earned a lot more money. So that's still possible here. Game 3 is the swing game, though, girl. That really is the decider. If B&B win this one, like with Baguette, it's just like almost a wash. So teams have to collectively step it up. It's not match point, but every team needs to kind of be on the same page. Hey, anybody but B&B right now, and we'll be okay.
Right. Everyone's got to stay alive, work together, hold them off as long as possible for a third party to come and save them potentially. Yeah, but it has been tough for a lot of teams, and mostly due to the fact that they're getting angled out. I feel like you really got to know your angles. Where can you get shot at by? If B&B is surrounding you, which sometimes they really do. They take all of the angles they can. You just got to focus one of them and focus them fast. You got to swing out there into their faces, try and take advantage of the situation, and see what happens.
Really posturing and claiming that presence of the space. It's a good point, and we're going to have to see some teams step up to the challenge that B&B has laid out for the rest of the lobby. Will you contest us? Will you come up to our level? We don't feel like we're going to have to drop it, and I wouldn't drop it if I was them either. So far, so good. 2 games out of 2. Game 3, going to change things up. At least I would hope so. But as we're getting started, we've been tapping into some of the potential upsets that we could see. Fake Preds, a team that is kind of in that middle of the pack, they've got a chance to change some stuff up. We've seen Daniel Spams. We've seen its route pull off some great performances here. Is this the moment for them to kick off their run?
If they were to have a moment today, this would be the time to do so, because now we're going into more than halfway of the tournament after Game 3. There's only 2 more games to go. So if you want to make, a stamp in history, this is the time to do it. Are there any game plans going into this game? Anything that these teams could, think of to spark the lobby?
Interesting to think about that, too, because what is the game plan? I've always found it difficult to talk to teams in the midst of a situation where they're not doing well, like coming into a, hey, in between Game 2 and 3, they take a water break, coming back on stage, hey, what's wrong with you guys? What do you got to do? That conversation typically doesn't go well. I haven't seen it happen well in person, but, it is something that still, regardless, you have to be willing to talk about. And, if we had a chance to interview some of these people in between, and maybe something to add to future Master Circuit type situations, because, it would be really nice to get a chat with someone from Fake Preds and go, hey, what's the vibe out there? What's going on? B&B, obviously killing it. You guys, somebody we've been looking at, are you not playing well? What's the lobby feel like? Can you give us a little bit of insight very quickly and just how you're feeling? I think that would be really, really great to give us some, some overarching themes of what it's like to be on the ground floor of all this stuff. Because, hey, you look at it, Daniel Spams, 5th place, 1,600 damage. It's pretty decent. it's just not competing with the big boys right now up on top.
Yeah, and it would be nice to have your teammates on this list with you, right? Having one player doing most of that damage, getting most of the kills, isn't enough. You want to at least have 2 players, if not 3, like BNB, on this leaderboard's Titanist. They've got a couple there as well. As aim assist, they've got a couple. Rollers MX, they've got 1. Exotl have 1, as well as Fake Fred. So the more of your teammates that can get on to this list, the better you'll have in your games. You want to have at least 2 damage outputters.
And that is where we're going to see, will there be some approach? If you look at the people who've been performing, Titaness, Rollers, you look at Dynasty, ADMP, you look at BNB, right? And so you're seeing a couple of teams that are really putting up some top performances, and that is going to probably be the difference after all. I mean, we talked about all these different elements that make up success in a game like this, but when you really do get down to it, right, you can also look back at what has been happening and predict success. History is an easy predictor of the future, and that ends up being looking at, okay, how has Titanus performed? Who's getting the most damage? Who's getting, you know, that's an easy sign to go, okay, these are the teams that are really actually playing well, despite how every other situation is unfolding with points, because sometimes, you know, you go out in 10th having a killer game and it just is a bad rotation, but usually if you're doing that much damage, you're surviving a lot later, you're playing longer than most, and you're getting a lot of downs, and that certainly is what's happening here as we get ready to go into our character selection. Bit sad, girl. You know what I'm sad about?
What are you sad about, Rain Day?
Oh, thank you for asking. I appreciate that. I'm sad that we didn't get to see Revenant. We didn't get to see the Revenant that was picked by Static, and now Static looks like Zypher's on Loba. So we didn't get to see it.
Revenant just wasn't cutting it this last game. It's actually quite hard, I would have believed, to play Revenant in this map. Revenant's more or less seen on World's Edge or King's Canyon because of the fact that there's so much open space. Your totem doesn't really do too much because you can't go from point A to point B in a short amount of time unless you have an Ashe potentially, but even so, I feel like it's really hard to pull off Revenant. I've seen Zypher pull off Revenant in past qualifiers. Maybe when you're on barometer building or in any building in particular, that's when Revenant can excel, but is Revenant better than Watson? Is Revenant better than Caustic in a building? I wouldn't say so. So it's probably why you don't see many Revenants in Stormpoint.
I mean, you know, it's a great point, and you know, Revenant really became such a big part of this meta because of Octane, because of the mobility attached. And Octane was really the reason Revenant came in. It's like, it's not that Revenant came in and Octane was like a nice slot. It was really, Octane was like, hey, what can we do with this jump pad? What really works when we're inting someone and we're really pushing forward and just all inning on someone? It's like, wow, wouldn't it be great to like go all in and, you know, not have to die and, you know, get even more aggressive and be able to go right back to where we were once we're done clearing all that space? And it's like Revenant just makes sense with that dynamic. And, you know, the second Octane's jump pad get nerfed, you don't see Revenant anymore. And that's kind of the issue with some of these legends from a competitive standpoint, that they're not going to be mainstays. They're not going to define Apex Legends as it is, but they are going to have their moments under the sun. Pathfinder had his moment under the sun. Watson has had many various moments under the sun. Gibraltar, for crying out loud, had maybe the longest moment under the sun of any competitive legend alongside Wraith. And now Valkyrie certainly having her moment under the sun alongside Seer. And I would say Horizon can get thrown into that with how consistent she's been over the last 3 seasons. So it just changes, but ultimately that's what makes it fun.
Oh no, Danny goes down. Doja and Exotl are in a 3v3 here. I think they've got trades. No, not trades. Doja's actually getting that first knock. And they're going to be winning the fight. I believe there's another team actually coming in from down beast to third party this fight. And that's what we're seeing there on the map. So Doja does get that finisher off. But I'm not sure if they know that another team is on by. OCW also in a 3v3. Not a great spot to fight, actually. Bit of a verticality difference there. Doja pushing up. Newcastle getting him from behind. Oh my goodness, the hip fire. He takes down one. Can he take down two? Yes, they do take down another one. And one more. All three of them outsiders eliminated. They come in the third party. Doja's like, that's more free kills.
Woo! Wow, Doja finally getting going here. You've been talking about him for 2 games. I'm glad they gave you a highlight here. You're running out of breath for Doja, and that certainly ends up being enough. Smooth. Admiring the lush green lands of Storm Point. Not quite like the brochure, I think. You thought there might be a little bit more green. That yellow traffic cone, or excuse me, the orange one. He's seen that before. Definitely the small orange one. What he hasn't seen, or at least what hasn't seen him, the enemy team guarding his banners. 45 damage. That's not a lot. But he's going to have to get more than that, maybe. Though just a Mozambique, if CCS are going to be dealt with. And right now, I just think maybe it is going to be a problem. I think they might have heard it. Did he make his move? Regardless, his trip maybe looking very dismal at this time with CCS clearly guarding that area that 2 of the 3 teammates of his have gone down in.
Well, they are making that rotation. They're going to skyward dive and try and make it into the next zone. That's what I really like about the northern end of the map is you can fly as far as possible rather than south side up.
Right.
So they're going to be getting a good amount of distance. Not as much as Valkyrie used to be able to get. You used to actually be able to almost fly from fish farms to fish farms from top of command center. So
I bet.
Definitely not the same amount of distance, but good enough. They made a safe landing. No one's in Stormcatcher thus far. Smooth is rotating towards wall. I'm not sure. Did Smooth get any banners? Or were they timed out?
I don't know. We did flash away. I wasn't watching on any of the map screen for that one, so we'll have to check in and see if they did get any banners there.
All right. Well, Smooth is looting the wall thus far. And the beacon will be scanned, so let's do our normal thing and predict where the zone's going, Rain Day.
I was waiting for this moment, girl. It's been a couple of it's been a testy afternoon. I feel like we've been going against like who's won, who's lost. You talk about the 1v1 I have. You talk about will I win the prediction. Why don't we work together here on this prediction?
Doja was eliminated.
Okay.
Just pointing that out. Thought they were going to have a good game.
Starting on a terrible foot. Going completely opposite of what we were about to do. Okay, let's get in coordination, girl. Because that's what we need. Unity as a casting pair. Okay? Where do we think it's going to go? We've seen Barometer. We haven't really seen like a cascade kind of ending. We saw like Command Center.
Do you want my guess?
Yeah, I want your guess.
All right, I'll guess first this time.
Okay.
I think it's going to end north of Shitfall, south of Antenna.
Oh, I'm with you.
No, you can't.
I was gonna say Gale Station. That's what I was gonna say. Gale Station.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm thinking west of Gale Station, west in the open field near the respawn beacon.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking too.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
See, look how hard. You know how hard it is to work together here, girl. Right?
I can't work with you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it to. We've been working together for like 10 hours today.
And it's been a pleasure.
We're together for like 30 hours in a row or something. I don't know what, but it's been happening. Wow.
We're about to find out, though.
Yeah, we will.
Look.
We
0
will.
seconds.
No.
Come on.
Come on. Oh, we're both in the mix here.
I think you're right.
Oh, we're both in the mix.
I think you're right. I mean, I think we're right.
Yeah, there we go.
We both had the same idea.
Thank you. I'm trying to get us into Unity chat, all right? We're going back and forth. The banter's fun, but at certain points, we're on a caster team together. We're trying to predict for you. And I think we might have just gotten it. We got 2 minutes and 17 seconds left. So let's keep the suspense. And in about 2 minutes, we're going to revisit this conversation here. Right now, though, Titaness doing a really good job picking up a few kills. They have been on the money with their team fighting, and that is such a great sign, girl. Forget information. Forget all this stuff we were talking about. You know, when you have a coordinated team fight, when you are working as a unit, that, to me, is such a big sign of success going into a tournament. Because no matter what situation you're going to face, you know, you're feeling like you're able to pop off.
That's true. There's nothing worse than playing ranked with a team, and every fight you get into, you're just like, wait, what's going on? Why are we losing?
Right.
What? Come on now. Come on. We're better than this. We're better than this. Sometimes you just off your game, your teammate synergy doesn't quite collide with yours. It happens. You could actually play with 3 or 2 other really good players, but if they're on different pages, then it won't matter. Rollers MX, they're on the same page here. Aim assist was eliminated. Unfortunate for them, but great for Rollers MX. Chickens pushing this building. He gets stunned though. Doesn't take in a lot of damage. This is not a good peek. Dark Chicken's got to go to the height. Has to pop this shield battery. His teammates should be waiting for him. Max Chicken outputting some damage though. Holding off B1. Slow and sturdy fight. So a lot of teams should be able to hear this, but no one's quite near yet. So this is going to be a straight up 3 versus 3.
B1. Trying to find 1, 2, 3 kills here. It's here with the focus of attention. We'll grab one. Won't see the others. Sometimes that is actually a problem because you may not see one of the unmarked teammates pushing down. This time, though, it works in their favor. El Sabroso finds the kill here. Now it's going to be up to Snow. What can you do for your team? Enough! As they find the kill there with the Hemlock, will immediately get up. Vilux can get back to business. B1 starting to have a little bit of performance. And also see if there's anybody close to the third party. They are near Antenna, and round 3 is here, girls. So what are we going to get? Are we going Gale Station? Are we going in between Antenna and Shipfall?
We're going Gale Station Rain Day. I called it earlier.
All right, we have actually
With
now.
you.
We actually have about a minute before we really get there. Sorry, production. I debated everybody. You know, I kind of went a little too fast. Give me a break here, but it's coming. It's coming. All right, minute. Somebody be on that clock. So. B1 looking good. I think that's also a sign that the lobby's starting to relax a bit, girl. And I mean, game 3, it's nice when lobbies start to relax. You get comfortable. You win that team fight. You know, you haven't had your performance that you've wanted so far, but getting it here starts to shift for the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. Just trying to take a look. Fake Preds near Jurassic. I don't know why they're running away from the zone. What it is with these top teams just running in the opposite direction of the zone, I think they're just trying to clear out their back. They want to make sure no one's walking in behind them. There actually is a team that they're spotting out. I think the pings are going through. But Waco's making sure no one is on their back so they could get this 3v3 fight underway if needed. Jet Life's going to take the beacon area of Jurassic. Had they not scanned them out? No,
Maybe
I don't
not.
believe so.
Here we go.
Daniel should be near them.
Girl, it's
Oh, there
time.
they go.
Where are we landing? Are we in Gale Station? It looks like we show the map.
Yes,
Oh,
we
We
are.
are in Gale Station. That is right below. But girl, I got to give you some credit here. It's not done. It's not over. It could still pull like a little left. Right? I mean, it's still possible.
Listen, we're a team. You get it right, I get it right.
That's
what
right.
What happened to that? What happened to Unity?
No, I won. No Unity anymore.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. It was just for the joke. Of course it's Unity. This is what we decided. You're the one who put that area, and so we're getting clear. This is just a good caster call out for everyone knowing. Now, why are we able to call that out, girl? I think that's another thing. You know, we got 9 squads
able
left.
to call that out?
It's
you
not-
watch a lot of Apex Legends. You're one of the best players in the game. You post a lot of YouTube content, providing good Apex Legends gameplay,
Oh my
theories,
God.
everything.
Please
I
stop.
think that is why.
Oh my God. That hurt me. That
Why?
hurt me. Because the troll is so heavy there.
No,
Because
it's not heavy.
I'm one of the best Apex players in the game.
Okay, maybe I was pushing that one a little bit.
Okay. Now we can meet in the middle somewhere. Okay, that's good. That's good compromise there. No, I appreciate the compliments, but once you said that, I thought, oh, she's trolling. This is just sarcasm at its finest. Major
being
Gush,
honest
though.
and trolling at the same time.
It is your specialty. It's one of my favorite qualities about you.
Oh, thank you. Being honest or trolling?
Wow, that got real. That got real very quickly. No, both. You know, you have a good sense of humor to where you can actually you can blend the difference, right? That's an important thing. That's an important thing. You gotta have a little bit of wry, you know, a little slyness in the conversation, keep things interesting. Hey, did she just get a dig at me? Oh, she did. That's kind of funny, but you know, still being polite. Obviously,
Of course.
obviously, girl, the most polite person you will meet.
Now he's digging at me.
And there you go. See, she understands when I do it too, so it's a nice thing. I you know, find friends that get your humor, you can have fun with. Make the time go by quickly. Right now, Fake Preds, they found their friends. They know Daniel spams its routes. Woko are ready to hold down this building near Gale Station. And 5 kills already to their name. BNB should be in trouble here if Fake Preds can actually pull this off. But again, you got to get rid of BNB to make that happen. And if you're looking at this map, I believe they are already gone. I think BNB have died a bit earlier. And so this is actually a great opportunity for Fake Preds. If that is true, and I believe it is, they're not ratting somewhere else. It really opens up the door for Fake Preds to kind of make that comeback. And that's what this lobby needed. Seriously. You know, this really could be it, girl. And that's going to be a light show at the end of it.
Take a look at Raptor coming in from the zone right behind CCS. What is going on? Oh, and they're going to encounter another team right below them. Raptor's going to be in their back, but they're going to have this clean wipe underneath. Is Raptor pulling some shots off onto CCS? Raptor could ruin their whole entire game.
This is true.
Oh no, he went a little south of them. He has no line of sight. It's okay. He'll be able to recover.
All right, Fake Preds on top. Beautiful shot there by Woko. Come challenge me at the top of the mountain. You may not make it back down to tell the tale. Focus of attention beautifully avoided by the horizon, and just at the right time to get around the other side of the wall and heal up. It's going to force Fake Preds to either not pursue or give that player up for a chance to rat and gain some higher placement points. Fake Preds, though, on a mission. 7 kills at least now. It's smooth on the other side of things. Zone to the back. Good damage there. It's great shots between the grass. Watch out, though. Titanus. Mac FB kills some zombies with a Kraber, and so that's damage going on. And a lot of arc stars, a lot of ordnance used by Smooth. Doesn't get anything. The Rollers and Mechs are ready to respond at a moment's notice. Raptor still alive around that corner, but I can't imagine for long.
He kind of exposed himself there a little by throwing those grenades and shooting. But we're going to go with the skyward dive, see if he can find a safe spot to chill and relax as everyone else dies around him. Gonna go for
And that's
that
free.
height.
That's free.
Oh, it is free.
Fake Preds left it.
Well, I don't know if I would call that free. I feel like Fake Preds are coming home right now. The security alarm went off. The dogs are barking. I don't know. There you go. Smooth is out of here, and that's it for him. But it's a good attempt.
He's like, the lights are off. There's no car there in the parking, and it's just this easy walk in. And no, the security system did go off indeed. That is a very fast rotation back. My goodness. They really want to call that place home, don't they? Because they sprinted back over there. And why wouldn't you? When you see the circle close, it's very possible that, this is going to be one of the best positions to fight from here in this endgame.
Yeah, and then they didn't have to fight anywhere else. They just got rid of the solo, granting them another placement, which is great. And let's take a look at the zone pool. They're not too far away. Actually, they could take the building right across from them. Right next to MX Rollers. It's a possibility. We'll have to see what they end up doing. CCS is going to be looking over them as well, so no fight needs to happen. I think there's enough room for everyone to play unless a team decides to be aggressive and push. But this could be a slow end zone.
What do you think about Fake Pred's spot right here? I mean, obviously, they're outside of the zone. Do they kick it here? What's your thought on how to play this?
If the building, that wall right there on the right, that's where they play next game. Right across from MX Rollers, they play that wall, and they try and survive from there. What about you? Do you have any different idea?
You know what I actually really like? I do sometimes like that high ground that they're shooting at over on that left side, but no, I think the way that you're describing it, that wall, super good to fight around. It's just, you've got to clear out Mercenary, and I believe that's Titanus. And look at that. They're doing it just like that. Going to the wall, like you said, and they're clearing out Memokusai and the rest of Titanus. Oh my god, routes! Miss a shot, why don't you? Going up potentially into the gravity lift, yes. Oh, takes a little damage there. Gets bounced off thanks to the Bangalore body. But CCS has gone and taken the space that Fake Preds have left. But Fake Preds now in the circle, and CCS on the very outskirts of that, playing that wall, as Girl has mentioned. Fake Preds realizing that push is coming and just rotating down to the bottom building that is still in the mix. So technically, TTN and Titanus have been able to make that rotation here and actually find themselves in the most open, most secure, biggest building that will be safe from now. Oh my god, why not? Whew.
Ooh, okay, so they're going to swap armors just because Horizon feels like they can level up the armor to red. Let's take a look here. So I feel like Titanus does have the best position. Their building's in a lot longer than the other building, but it all really comes down to who fights who first.
Right.
Are one of those teams going to end up crossing? Are they even going to be able to cross? Looks pretty hard, but with Bangalore smokes, it's very much possible. Kill their line of sight, go for the bottom floor. Could be better than staying over here and dying against Fake Preds, or killing Fake Preds and then dying. This is what you got to think about. Do you want to go for first, or do you want to go for second with the kills? Both of them are actually evenly as good, because if you get 3 kills and a higher placement, you get that many points. And if you go for first, you know, the placement points will be good enough for themselves with a few kills as well. So could do anything. Here comes the smokes, and here comes the cross.
Yeah, they're pushing, and this is tough because that aggressive push right there, it is just so good. And the exhibit maybe, I don't know, maybe a little late. Obviously wasn't aware that the push was coming, but you kind of do want to wait as long as possible to hit that ultimate. That way you can have the advantage in the fight last, especially since a lot of Seers are doing that now. Really good focus of attention. It hits 2, but I feel like Titanus Mac has just not been in this fight, hasn't been in this engagement, and their team feels pretty separated, although they're not taking much damage. So far, I think they're just sharing this building now, and it's really opened things up for Fake Preds.
And Gunna actually went down from CCS, so these two teams are playing their lives. I think they're both going to focus the team across from them as much as possible. End up in a 3v3 is what it looks like is going to happen. The scan comes through. 1 on the high ground, 1 on the low ground. Gunna actually got revived. Gunna's popping a shield battery. That's going to be good. This is going to be a tough end zone to play in. Daniel Spams is actually getting lit up. Chris actually wants to go on with that damage there. Joker popping some shots from across the ravine as well. Shield battery popping off. Smokes. No one can see anyone right now.
I think you go in and you send your Valkyrie up. I think that's the way to do it. Throw your ults, throw everybody 2-man kind of push, send your last player up, take all the attention away, and then go for it. But look, the Valkyrie goes down. Beautiful shots there from Gunna on the CCS. And now Titanus sending their Valkyrie up into the skies. Like I mentioned, no one looking at the Valkyrie now. Did they just take the win? Trying to get a shield swap. You don't need it with the car. Oh my goodness. Hit the spray. Wow, Titanus win. What a showcase of skill.
Lovitz went B clip after one clip after one clip. Even let someone armor swap right in front of him, but it does not matter because Lovitz does not miss a shot. Titanus, as you said, went up into the air, came down, gun swinging.
I've found that, like, there are certain circles where there's just no good spot to play and everyone's going to have to brawl. And in those circles, the brawl takes usually most of the, it just takes most of the attention. There we go. That's my brain's working again.
Yeah.
And that's where Valkyrie becomes so valuable. And I honestly think you talk about Valkyrie's bloated kit, you talk about the information from flying down, the skyward dive, the macro rotation. No one can compete with that. You talk about being a recon beacon, so you don't have to have like a Bloodhound or something. It happens to be Seer's also a recon legend, so it works out. But just you don't need to have multiple legends. She does it all. And then I think her in-game play, that up into the sky, drop down, it's second to none except maybe Horizons. And it's one of the best strategies when you don't really have anything else to do.
Yeah, that's true. Not many people can focus in the air, because if they do focus in the air, then they're gonna get gunned down from across from them. So you're just trying to eliminate who's on that first floor type of thing, and then you try and kill the birds in the sky. Oh my goodness, that's awful to say, but that's what happens.
Yeah, that's just what a crazy moment, and honestly, more impressive, Titanus's aim. I mean, I'm not sure there was a bullet missed in those like 2.5 clips in a row, and it was Lovitz TV with the play. A missile swarm, I don't think it connected there, but even G7 scouts in the air trying to get a little bit more damage, lands down here and just reloads the car, so a full 27 bullet clip. That was 20. That was easy. Went for a shield swap. It wasn't really necessary there. It's 174. Slides in. Look at that. Through the smoke. Just impressive stuff. And love it. 1,700 damage. 8, 1, and 9. I mean, that is what it's all about.
Shows in the stats. 8 kills, 1,700 damage. Just absolutely picking it up for the team in the end. And Chris's gravity lift actually really helped Lovitz go into the sky, be up there in the air before she had to even use her jetpack. So it all really worked out well. It was kind of like double the energy there. And they did a great job winning that fight. The car SMG, honestly, the highlight of my night tonight.
I mean, really just a beautiful, beautiful moment. And man, I love that it happened with Titanus. And I also loved the fact that you could essentially take what we were talking about with Game 3 and, you know, what happened where Baguette took the lead, made it less of a game. Now Titanus and B&B going down pretty early make this so much more of a tournament across the board, and certainly put Titanus in a conversation to threaten for first if they keep this up. Look at that. Only 10 points away after 3 games. We've got, what, a 14-point difference? No, 16-point difference now between third and first. I mean, that's all you can ask for heading into our final 2.
Yeah, truly. We did not expect it coming on in. To be honest, B&B was on a killing spree, but that's what we're talking about. Game 3 defines the rest of the story throughout. First game, it matters, but anything can happen still. Second game matters, but anything can still happen. Now that the third game is over and done with, these last 2 games are going to have so much pressure on everyone.
B1 found a few eliminations. In fact, I think we saw them, and that adds a big difference. I mean, look at that. It takes you from 17th position to 11th. So congratulations for B1. You just put a few more of those together, and you're going to be in a great position to rank top 10, especially with the way the bottom part of this lobby is. Maybe less competitive there from the North American side, but our top side, even more competitive than we saw in Europe. And man, that is a very exciting thing, girl. And you know, it's still Game 4 on the way. Game 3 took a little bit of time, it felt like, to get through and get into, but man, I'm excited. It feels like this tournament's just starting.
Really, it truly is. It's like anything can happen, so you feel like the story's just begun, and this next game will be a big factor. You know, Game 3, it's like it sets the story, sets the pace. Game 4, it's like now the pressure's on. Game 5, you might already know who wins. You might not.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
hands start sweating up a little. You might have to wipe your controller down.
Yeah.
Take a quick break. Make sure you stretch in between your games. Drink some water. Stay hydrated. I heard that sugar, just having a little bit of sugar, actually helps your brain think better while gaming. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think I saw it on a YouTube video.
I think so. I think your brain feeds on glucose and can definitely have an increased little bit of performance. It's not that you need to just be downing sugar, I'm pretty sure. But
No,
I
just
think
like
that
a little bit.
sometimes like one of the things that, you could even see like physically, like your body before a game or during a high pressure moment, like having just a little bit of something can definitely like just make you a little bit more alert and access, that brain power. Because your brain, what was it? There's another interesting thing about the brain, that it takes how much percentage of your like body's energy just to run your brain. Like the amount of like kind of calories and things that are going on just to make your brain function. I think it's a lot higher than you think. And so a lot of people think, I'm fueling my body, and you are, but you're truly also, in times where you're feeling lethargic or you like can't think well, a lot of times that means you're not fueled for your brain. Like your brain doesn't have maybe enough or what you're used to. So it's definitely a different way to think about things. And the more that this is actually, I'm getting into an interesting topic for me. I enjoy it. I don't know about you, girl, but
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I've started to see more and more neuroscientists, and not just that, more and more nutritionists with a psychology, neuroscientist, body, biology background join in. We actually saw NRG recently, or maybe in this last year, pick up a full-time nutritional kind of psychology body coach for their players and their staff to utilize, because it is such a big part of top performance. And, you take it outside of the physical element because you're in digital gaming, but who's doing the gaming? Your body, your brain, your mind, your eyes, your hands. It is physical, even if we think that it's not the same way as an athlete. So, I love it. I love when players and, that information gets spread and players go like, yeah, right, like, true. Like, I need to fuel up to play, not just play and then, eat whatever, Taco Bell or, whatever it is, and just get by.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get by off of eating whatever and doing whatever. You could be just that naturally talented, but you can definitely see major improvements if you take the steps that you were talking about, having that nutritionist or having a little bit of sugar, something like that. It's honestly wonderful to think about. Have you ever competed in a tournament and, had a quick snack?
I guess what's interesting is I've noticed a lot of physiological changes that have improved my game. Like one thing I did a series where one of my biggest tips for people who are getting better at gaming as we get ready for Game 4, so we're building some time here, but one of the things is always watch your games back. And one of the things I noticed, and kind of having that approach, like, okay, replay buffer on OBS. You hit it, you record the last 30 seconds of what happened. Think about that in your life, right? If you do a game, you miss that 1v1, you don't clutch up, what happens? What did I do? What did I just do? What was I thinking? What happened to my body? Did I tense up? I noticed oftentimes, like, I didn't breathe, right? Like, when I was in a tense situation, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. I stopped my normal breathing pattern. I stopped giving my brain and my body oxygen, and my aim got worse. And so I also got more tense, and I wasn't able to be as natural with my aim. And so that's like one of those things that, like, even from a very core level of grinding ranked, and I was recording myself for a series, I looked back and was like, oh, wow, I can improve that way physically. And, streaming on an empty stomach, I'm sure, as you know, like, you can be lethargic.
That's not good.
Right. It's so, it's really real. We don't talk about it a lot, but it's such a big part of it. And it's like, as games get more industrialized and, more industries come getting, I think money and like interaction with it, seeing the value in interacting with gaming, it's going to be the same way sports are. There's really no difference. And in fact, maybe your brain, is working maybe harder in comparison to other things, all considered when it comes to gaming. So, it's definitely something that's really cool. And I think from an athlete kind of overlap into gaming, it's something that we have to have more conversations about. And I'd enjoy.
Yeah, honestly, I love this conversation. And like you saying streaming on an empty stomach. I used to wake up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. The first thing I do, I get out of bed. I wouldn't even brush my teeth or wash my face. I'd go to my computer. I'd start playing. I'd turn the stream on, whatever. And then I noticed after a while, maybe after a few months or years or something like that, that eating before playing helps me hit my shots better, helps me focus up better. And a lot of people, I'm kind of known for this. A lot of streamers don't like to eat while streaming. They find it maybe like rude or something like that, or they're uncomfortable. And I eat all the time on stream. And and my friends are just like, how do you eat so much? How do you eat so much? I gotta think. How am I gonna have energy for this 12-hour stream if I'm not eating? So I'm always eating.
That's right. I mean, that's definitely so true. And this is a benefit of people who have kind of, talking with you and talking with other streamers, people who have gone through and done it and been in those shoes. It's listen up. That'd be my suggestion for those at home. Listen up, because this information comes from experience.
Yeah.
And that's a good experience as well. Hopefully, saves you a little bit of time, or you can skip the line for a couple of these issues. But also, hey, performing. That's what life is. You want to get to these moments and you want to perform. You don't want to just get here and go, well, I wasn't my best. You want to be the best in these moments, and you gotta love it. Teams are putting themselves in that position here. Game 4 coming up as we land into Storm Point. I think we've got ourselves a great finish to North America on hand.
Oh, we definitely do. Something about Apex Legends that a lot of people are like, do you have any tips for improving? Well, one tip, a very simple and easy tip, is just playing the game more. The more you play, the more of a reaction, a quick reaction you get to things. The better your aim will be, everything. It'll just come naturally. You won't even have to really think too hard about it. It's just reflexes. Once you get your game into mostly reflexes, or like, hey, I read this chapter, I've done this chapter, I've played this out 100 times before, so you just naturally know what to do. That's when you really become one of the best Apex players in the world.
And I think it's just such good advice from a life perspective too. The more that you really put in, it may seem so hard, but part of the separation at the top is just people who have made every mistake possible and gone through every possible variation of something, so that now they could see the path, right? I mean, you there's one way to get to a door on the other side of the room, and you go right, you go a little bit left, a little bit left, a little bit left, a little bit left. Eventually you figure out where the door is, and the next time you go in that room, you just go straight that direction. And if you don't have that, you could say, wow, this person's unreal. How'd they just immediately know what to do? And it's like, well, all that time I was doing the wrong things helped me clarify what the right thing to do was. And that is a big Apex lesson and an even bigger life lesson for those watching at home. And we appreciate you. Whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, or all our channels, PlayStation, make sure to check us out at compete.playstation.com. We've got more Master Circuit coming up. We've announced some things for that earlier. And we've got 2 more great games here in our grand finals to determine who's going to get $1,500. Who's going to get that first place prize, which is that big cash prize plus PS5s for every member of the team. Still 2 games left, but this is one of them. And so it's very, very important to start strong. And no 50-50s, I guess, for Axolotl, but Fake Preds this early see some action. Got to be very careful about this because they're vying for first place, and they don't want to throw it away here.
All the shots are coming through, forcing the opponent to go across the bridge, and here comes the knock, and that's Daniel Spams with the G7 Scout, not missing a single shot, hitting those headshots as well. Zombies, it's going to go down. Not often do you see a team contest Fake Preds for their position here in Lightning Rod. They're going to almost take down Joker as well. Joker's down to 1 HP. Daniel turns around, hip fires the G7 Scout. Doesn't have to hit a shot because his teammates are just that good. And there's the first team eliminated. CS. They're going to have to spectate for the rest of the game as they watch Fake Preds have a potential domination on this game. It's pulling upwards.
Is this what we is this what we were talking about? Or, I mean, really, you were hypothesizing going from place to place to place, kind of mixing up these drop spots towards certain parts of the game. Is that what you think they did there? Because I'm not sure they were contested at Lightning Rod earlier.
No. They're usually not contested. So CCS might like to play around. But I feel like you really got to be a dominant team to do something like that. You really already have to have won qualifiers, win most of your 3v3s. I think that's when you go for the level up. I don't think you start with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, nice shots there from its routes. Its route, excuse me. Boko and Daniel spams the fake Preds. Have an eye on the prize. And that is one of the most satisfying weapons, I think. When you hit that shot, that boom, that loud sound, and then that connection, especially if you hit a headshot, it is just so deadly, and it's something that you definitely want to push on. They've got angles aplenty, but the exhibit up top, let's see who threw theirs first. Because if it is fake Preds, they're going to be able to go in with a little bit more confident. No, it wasn't. It was the defensive version, but they both essentially in the same position.
The scan comes through, but they're on height, so nothing comes of it. Another scan hits. They now see one on the low ground. They don't know where the other two are. They could be holding corners down there. Daniel's trying to go from the other side of the building to potentially get an angle. It's route just holding the door. It's a standoff here. I think the zone's pulling upwards too, so they don't want to risk too much for this fight, because teams will be rotating towards this way. We do have the nearest team in command center thus far, but actually a lot of teams outside of the zone on the edge. So it would be a safe fight to taking it right now. They might be waiting for the Seer ulti, to be honest with you. It's hard to push a team like that.
I was going to say maybe they ran out of sugar, girl. Their brain stopped working.
Oh.
Who knows? Just jokes. But biding their time, that's very, very important. And they're playing against the exact counter matchup. I had this conversation mentioned around one of the Twitter scrolls that I do nightly, and saw TSMFTX Raven, the coach of Apex Legends TSMFTX team. I think it's added a nice dynamic to their squad, really helped their communication, and I think it's going to be a good thing heading into year 3. Shouting at the world, saying, what is it that people think a counter for the Legend is the Legend? Why is a Seer counter Seer? It's something else. It's the opposite. It's something that counters Seer. It's not just the Legend. And, I could see both sides to that. I really do see where he's coming from, but how often, did we just see you got to have a Gibraltar because they're going to have a Gibraltar. And if they bubble and you can't bubble, then, the fight's going to be over. And right here, I feel like we're seeing, exhibit against exhibit. You know what I mean? Look at this. Focus of attention. Maybe both are true.
It really has been working out to kind of put this at a stalemate, but take a look at Route with the beams, taking Unknown down right away. He's got to have the reload, though. Can he finish this off? Yes, he does. No one goes down. It was a clean fight. Aim assist. They did their best to hold them off, but there was just so many entryways into that building. They really have to hold hands if they're going to do that. After knowing that the Horizon ult is down, they didn't actually have a Horizon ultimate, a black hole to throw in that fight. I feel like it's safe to say that, you can hold hands. You can be in the same area, and if someone swings you, you all three swing back. But that's just something to think about, really.
There's a lot of playground references right there. Being on the swings, holding hands. You're taking me back to, my childhood days there, at the park. But, no, just some Apex lingo about holding hands, working as a team, staying very, very close together. Swinging. Obviously making that strong move, whether you're going outside, inside, or whatever it is, but making a very decisive rotation one way or the other, quickly.
You want to hear a fun fact?
Yeah, I do.
My childhood playground park ended up turning into a parking lot. So
Well, at least
Yeah.
they kept the park.
They kept the park in the parking lot.
They stayed
Oh,
consistent,
my.
didn't they? Oh my god, that joke wrote
That's
itself.
good. That was good.
It wrote itself though. But that's a little sad. That is a little sad. Do you still, what was the? I mean, because also it's like teeter totter. I mean, that's like a good actual. I'm not sure how many people played on the seesaw, but teeter totter seesaw. I mean, that's actually kind of a conversation piece for gaming too, because it's very often that teams can go kind of back and forth in these fights, and damage and healing, and there's a lot of actual like really good sayings that come from parks. So I might have to keep that. I might have to keep that on top of mind.
You sure can. Did your park have a forest? Mine did.
Your park had a whole forest in it?
Just a small forest. I called it a forest, but it was probably like
it's
10
like a plant.
trees.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one tree and a shrub. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're a small little kid,
yeah.
that's everything.
When you're a kid, everything that you go around, engaging with feels massive, and then it lives in your memory at that height, and then you go back when you're an adult and you go, that's not even close to as big as I thought it was. It's like, wait, that was just like, a poinsettia or something. Like, that wasn't even a tree, right? But you still have those memories, and that's what matters for sure. Dinosaur Venom on the Crypto, EMP, Fake Preds, Woko, Daniel Spams. It's Route. Continuing. They're vying for first place. They've got 2 games left to do it. And with 2 kills already, 2 kills as assists, meaning at least 4 to the name. This is a great start for them, nearly heading into the top 10.
Do you see
Big
BNB?
shots. I'm going to take a look at that too as well, girl, because this would be a bigger story than anything, because no, we haven't watched BNB. We haven't seen them early. And then they have been eliminated, it looks like, yet again. Our leaders, unless there is a ton of teams fighting right now near Fake Preds, and so it is possible that they're one of the teams just in that mix. But I think they are eliminated. I do not think they are in, which would be devastating for how well they started. And what a beautiful golden opportunity for Fake Preds and Titaness still alive in this lobby.
I'm not sure if they want to really fight here, though. Oh, take a look at this. They're actually getting shot in the back. There's quite a few teams nearby, but there probably is a team underground. It's Route. Looking to angle the small building. It has a lot of entryways. If they could get to it, I'm sure that they could get good angles, but this is a 3-way street. I don't think much is going to come of it. They just have to stay alive. Playtime. There's no way. OCW's eliminated.
Oh my. Look at this here.
Oh.
What that looked really good. And I know they could see some of these outlines, or we could see some of these outlines. It just didn't end up working out for them. I don't actually think that vision was theirs. Now that vision is theirs, at least on the outside here. But there's another Horizon ulti. Not going to be taken down. It's Route. Fake Preds fighting up on the staircase, and they realize that there's good opportunity to maybe swing back around and get up to that high ground again. There's no reason not to, and just take control of it, especially since outsiders with Dinosaur Venom, Packers, Harry Beanstalk on the Crypto. They've got a potential EMP to play around with, and Fake Preds know how dangerous that could be, so they don't want any part of it. And also sieging against a Watson, Rampart, and Crypto, that's not going to be fun.
Can't believe outsiders didn't get any good shots on them as they walked in, but it's okay. They're still alive. They're playing the end game, the safe game. Watson up. Fake Preds. I don't know how they're up here and not getting shot at, but they have a vision over the entire low ground. Daniel's got a vision as well, making that rotation. They want to play the corner of the zone. They want to wait till the zone closes, make sure no one comes out on this side, Oh, they're even going to go for the Valk ult. The Skyward die for it. Let's see where they end up deciding to go. This is a great ultimate. Oh, they're going right back up top because the spot that they wanted is already taken. Oh, it's quick decision making.
And that, if you know, Route, Daniel Spams, and Woko are clearly on the G7 scout train. And if they stay on it, they keep hitting headshots like this. I mean, the efficiency for one bullet of light ammo, there's just nothing better in the game. There's no more efficient weapon in the game for how much ammo you're using to deliver that much damage, especially in a light ammo capacity. And it's just nice to see. And look at this! Oh, a push! Oh, they are getting aggressed on. They were not ready for it, and that has pushed them all the way down. Routes luckily has the spacewalk feature, but it is in a great position, and they are without their key mobility here. And so they're either going to have to be willing to rotate here into this lower edge of the tunnel and wait out to regroup, which they have, or they're going to have to fight again, and they've just decided to regroup. Wow, what an aggressive play. I don't even think they expected that moment.
No, I didn't either, and they were just right on top of them. It's surprising that no one went down in that situation. Outsiders, they've decided to play a little bit more aggressive. Ooh, is that almost a knock? He's trying to go over. He's actually going to go down.
Nice.
No, survives with 5 HP. No, he goes down. There's the trade. Horizon versus Valkyrie. Who wins this out? It's a 2v1 right there. I think they're going to be able to get this Horizon in the air. She's flesh. If the shots can connect by Harry Beanstalk, they do. How is she still in red armor?
My goodness gracious. And it's not going to be possible trying to maybe destroy that door. Beautiful shots with the R99. Doesn't set up the tripwire yet for the Watson fences. Now that one's going to be set. Give them a little bit of time for a guaranteed shield battery. No, it's not guaranteed. And that must have been very surprising as outsiders are eliminated. I'm not sure how Lizoko made it through before that Watson fence was set up. You could tell from the Watson's POV, they thought they were clear. They thought they were golden. Just chilling on a beach somewhere out in the middle of the Bahamas. But no, a tidal wave was approaching. That was a great swing there by the Horizon.
Those fences didn't even slow Lizoku down. I wonder what happened. Lizoku just pulling off that 1v2. Even though the Seer had a massive, he didn't really get much damage down. So it really truly was a 1 versus 2 situation. Fake Preds didn't want to keep that low ground, so they moved out towards the Prowler's Nest. They have 2 on scan, both with no armor practically. Good shots, but is it enough? Are they overextending here a little bit? It looks like it, but who knows? The shots are going to come through. One is going to go down. Can we get that last one? Look at the team from the high ground. Its route isn't in a great situation, but they're not getting focused. So.
That's such a benefit, right? I mean, that was pretty exposed, girl. I mean, that actually really worked out for him. But yeah, Fake Pred's playing with fire here maybe a little bit. They're not being as aggressive as they can be, but yeah, maybe that confidence, maybe a little bit of luck. That's the team you were talking about. They were firing, they were fighting, and they just were not shooting a sitting duck, which was its route at the top of his gravity lift.
Well, they do have another team to fight, actually. Maybe they're going to spot a solo and a duo around them. They're on the edge. Doja finds themselves a solo as well, or duo. That's Chi Collectors. They're going to go down. 6 squads remaining. Doja actually have a fair amount of kills. Take a look at that. 6 kills, 5 assists. Milk Bros eliminated. The zone's getting smaller. The amount of people in this zone are also decreasing. Fake Preds are getting a revive on the edge of zone, but it does not seem like anyone's pushing them. They've got the northern end of the circle all to themselves, and everyone else is kind of compacting right now to the big building in Thunderwatch. So this is where we're going to find all of the fights parallel in it. You get 1 knock. Chris Uwu going down from Titanus. Good shots there, but they actually lose 1 as well. We're going to have to see a push here from the R301. Bangalore, no smokes available to their use. They're getting help from other teams. Nice arc star.
That's going to hit. But is he going to hit enough?
Oh, he got the shield battery off. I saw the red armor pop.
Oh, very, very nice. Great timing, too, and a missile swarm to boot right back at you. But it's not going to change the situation. It's dire. And it doesn't look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. But Parallel can't take the risk of trying to push this unless they want to go bottom side. But if they're in there, they're in the same situation that that team is. And I think that looks like they might do it. Daniel Spams and the rest of Fake Preds having the ability to kind of poke their head into these fights as they want to. But they can show presence from far away. They don't have to get as close and personal as Doja is. And just kind of playing ring around the rosy there with that pillar. Does not find the final kill, but Parallel will be eliminated all the same. Fake Preds take the high ground onto this building, and they're going to be able to play from up above. That is going to be massive for them because that just puts them in a high position where information is given to them based on those moving below. And honestly, Daniel Spams, if he wants, can kind of split the difference. Two can stay up on top. Daniel can take the high ground, and there's going to be no way for any of those teams to shoot all three of them at the same time.
While all of that was happening, Bombardman actually got a revive for his team. I think it was just one. He's got vest color up. Don't know if they have any loot to work with there. Look at them all hiding behind the rock. Doja is a full team as well. They do not have a Valk, unfortunately, so they're going to have to walk their way up, utilize the smokes to their advantage. Route going into the sky. Line of sight will not be covered from Route. Route's going to be able to see everything over top of the smoke, but there was no opening from that.
Kind of a weird situation because you see Route and you see Daniel Spams and all of Fake Preds. They're in the spot that everyone wants to be. So both teams, regardless of necessarily pushing each other, which they are now, wanted to go up towards Fake Preds. But I think Fake Preds just realized there's an opportunity here. They see with the R301 all they need to see, and that's red numbers flying on their screen. The shots hit and car sprays to try to finish it off. It will be Fake Preds looking like they'll take this next game here, but what type of turnaround could there be? If any, I don't see it happening. The R301, the combined play of the crew, Fake Preds are gonna do it. They're gonna be your champions of Game 4, and they might have just taken first place here heading into Game 5.
It's very likely that they did, honestly. They got so many kills. They took advantage of the 12 points they get from placement even. Just so much good stuff coming out from them. It was a close fight there. It was a really close one there at the end, but they just had the advantage through the whole time. They had the high ground. They had the sights over everyone. The duo had to fight the trio. It was looking good for them, but they almost lost it. So it was a really valiant effort from the other team.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great effort. I love that the approach of that high ground fight kind of had people guessing, and that's the benefit of Stormpoint. I mean, you see some of these plays, high ground typically wins. That's like just a standard trope of Apex Legends, and I think a lot of BRs, FPSs in general, but it certainly matters on Stormpoint even more so than that because the high ground is so high. It is just such a steep hill to climb. It's like the highest and steepest of hills to possibly climb in any gaming terrain. It feels pretty unfair, and I think that's what Fake Preds made sure to make their enemies know. We are not going to let you get above us. We are always going to be one step ahead. We've got the height. We've got the Valkyrie if we need it. We've got the shots, too. And I think that was it. Actually, I'm pretty sure in this moment here, Harry Beanstalk thought that those fences activated, and it kind of looks like they did. But I don't know if I'll get down to the mystery of that one. How Luzoku, I believe, just broke through so quickly.
Doja really showcased their skills this game. They had a rough beginning to the tournament overall, but them winning that 1v2 really boosted them up. Got the second place overall here. They got a few kills as well. Many kills. Should probably bump them up into top 10 if they weren't in there already. I think they're looking good. They're looking strong, but unfortunately for them, there's only one game left remaining.
Only one game left. That means we're going to get a chance to see these scores, see this recap of our champion squad here as well. And it's Fake Preds yet again putting up a banger. Let's see, what is that? What? 17? Looks like a 16 maybe?
16.
Yeah, 16. And so that is going to be a 28-point game. Wow, that is close. I think they've hit a 29, a 28, and a 33. I mean,
That's pretty awesome. That's going to put them, I believe, at 91 points. So they'll almost certainly, unless I think they were still winning. I might put them at 81 points. But great performance so far from Fake Preds. I thought they won 2 in a row, but no, it was Titanus who cleaned that one up. Fake Preds have been really, really involved. Yeah, and so I was confusing Titanus' score with Fake Preds. But look at this, girl. This is exactly what we were talking about. Sometimes you have one team out in the lead. North America, we had a prediction earlier. There's going to be about maybe 3 teams, all with a mix, all with a chance to perform. Game 5 is going to come down to it. If any one of these teams pulls off another 28 to 33 point game, they will be our champion.
This is intense because the top 2 get the PS5s, and there are 3 teams contesting for that, essentially. So we need eyes on Fake Preds, we need eyes on BNB, and we need eyes on Titanus. Whoever ends up going out first, I wonder what's been happening to BNB.
Yeah.
They've been going out early. They're going to have to figure that out because no matter what this next game, they cannot die. They cannot afford to die. Everything's on the line right now, and it's cutting down to the wire. Rollers MX and Doja, they're putting up a great fight, a great show as well today. Unfortunately for these bottom 10 teams, they were not able to make it just yet, but they have one last chance to make that top 10 mark and earn themselves a little bit more of cash prizing.
Yeah, there's more prizing available. A good game will get you more money, so that's got to be motivation enough. And you heard her, BNB. It's do or die. It is time to do the game winner, because if you don't, you're going to see someone else not only take first place, maybe even take second place away from you and those PS5s. We've got all that coming, but remember, compete.playstation.com is how it all happens. That's where the action is in terms of signing up, getting involved, and knowing when we do our tournaments here for the Master Circuit. And we got more coming at you very, very soon. Speaking of more and very soon, Game 5 to culminate our grand finals, not just for Europe, but now for North America, is happening in just 5 minutes. So take those 5 minutes, get a little bit of water, your favorite beverage, your favorite snack, and meet us right back here. We'll see you then.
Welcome back to dropping. Oh, not dropping in. You're dropping into the. You're dropping. I had to laugh at that. Girl and I did our dropping in show yesterday, and we were just in a smorgasbord of great PlayStation action. And so I gotta laugh. We're at the end of our 10-day streak today, and if you've been joining us, we are happy to be here. You have dropped into our finals, though. I think, girl, once we calm down, we'll be able to get to it.
Yeah, no worries. Everybody, hey, listen, this is what's up. BNB, Titanus, Fake Preds are kind of going for first place and second place right now. Only 2 out of the 3 teams can get PS5s today. This is our leaderboards. We've got Fake Preds in the lead with 74 points, BNB with 63 points, and Titanus with 60 points. So if you're just dropping in, you're all caught up right now.
Thanks for getting my back on that one. Let me recover a little bit. You know, sometimes it's like in school when, the teacher says be quiet. You did something and you're just like, oh, man, it's hard not to laugh. It's really, really hard not to. But no, we've had a really great day of shows. We had our live show yesterday. We've been referencing it a lot. And also, what's great, too, is that we have a great show for this final game, because look at the show that Fake Preds is putting on. Not only Daniel Spams and its route taking the 1st and 3rd position, but we've got Woko in the 9th. Clearly, this team, all in the top 10, are just absolutely dominating. But let me just slow that down, though, girl, because we've also got Titanus Lovitz and Titanus Chris Yuwu in the top 10 as well. 2 from that team. Dynasty, the Wope, ADMP, they're also all 3 in the top 10. All those players are on the top 3 teams, separated by just 15 points, where basically it is do or die. The winner of this game, if it's one of them, I believe, will be winning this entire championship. So all on the line. I mean, it couldn't be a better setup, to be honest, than what we just saw.
Truly. It's going to be an incredible game, life-changing decisions will be made right here. Good amount of money on the line as well, so the pressure is on, especially for BNB, who didn't have the luckiest of games in the past 1 or 2. So we're about to find out what's been really their issue, what's been the wall that they've got to get through. We're about to find out here shortly. Let's make sure we catch all 3 of them in action every time they get into a fight.
I know. I'm just so excited. I'm ready to do it. The game seems to be loading up pretty soon here. We're going to get a chance to look at our character select screen, see if there's any wild kind of moments that we'll maybe see some introductions of. You never know who might play spoiler in a situation like this, for maybe having... we've seen Revenants, we've seen Rampart, Crypto Watson teams, we've seen, different types of compositions, and, not everyone's been able to be up to the challenge of navigating the variety of circumstances that can show up in a game like Apex, especially when it's Game 5 and half the lobby has completely different not half the lobby. I would say maybe 80% of the lobby has completely different motivations. 3 teams vying for first. A lot of teams not vying for first. In fact, trying to get into prizing, but way less on the line in terms of stakes for getting those PS5s, getting that over $1,000 prize pool. And I think that maybe we'll see some teams at the bottom throw it all to the wind, make a couple of aggressive questioning decisions. And if that ends up being to the chagrin of BNB or Fake Preds, that would be an interesting story, too, to be aware of.
Yeah, for sure. And I was just doing the math on Doja. If they had over a 26-point game, maybe a 30 or higher kind of game, they could potentially get second, depending on how BNB and Titanus do perform. If they go out early, they do have a chance. It's a slim chance, but it's not something we should forget about.
No, it's a great point. I mean, and Doja is somebody you've kept an eye on in this tournament, which is great, and they had a really good game. I mean, to get to even the position of 30 points, they're definitely in the comments. Not comments, in the conversation now. And let's see what comment they make here in Game 5, because, of course, we're not Game 6 like we used to, we've done in every other tournaments. We are here finishing it off right here in 5, and so you've got to do it. We're looking at BNB, we're looking at Titanus, looking at Fake Preds.
So Fake Preds have their safety net. They're a bit above BNB by 11 points, so they do have somewhat of a safety net that if they just even make it to that end game, that final 3, it's a likely chance that they net themselves first or second place, but we'll see. They're not getting contested off a drop, as you can see. They're going down Beast. Who is getting contested, though? We've got a couple teams on the wall going for that 50-50. Fake Preds, they get Lightning Rod to themselves this time. No contestation there. Longbow shots are... Oh, they're hitting.
Very weird that we're not able to see that digi-thread. It must be just a POV bug, but that longbow is actually getting the information on where that Bangalore is. And looks like maybe the Seer having some issues. Hope they get back in. Milk Bros as well. On the high ground there, we're seeing Dinosaur Venom and his squad at Cenote Cave over on the north side. We've got Daniel Spams, its route. Wilco from Fake Freds on Lightning Rod, not being contested this time around. We've got ADMP, Dynasty, and Awope over near Down Beast on our western side of the map. Teams all to pay attention to. And Base Bird combined with Jet Life here are going to have a couple of nice ranged attack options. Fortunately, slips and falls there. Misses the one opportunity to hit that charge rifle shot. So we'll have to wait to see that one. Here we have Captain Kush. Last one around. Actually, unfortunate situation for Captain Kush. Looks like they're leaving him alone. Which is actually much respect for Milk Bros.
Might be something good this way.
As they continue to move forward.
Not taking advantage of an unfortunate situation.
Yep.
A lot of respect for that, for sure. What's going on over here? Chi Collectors. They are doing the armoring. Everything's quite quiet right now, besides High Tribe going down, eliminated in 18th place. It was a good run. I do want to mention, if you've seen anyone with TV, TTV in their names, or without, you could try and look at anyone up on social media, on Twitter, on Twitch, see if they've got any of those social medias, and you could support them outside of the Master Circuit. Support the PlayStation community wherever you go, whenever. If you have a particular interest or you admire someone else's gameplay that you've seen, everybody's put in a lot of work to get here. They've all qualified to be here in the finals. And as we said before, the circuit will continue. So get a squad ready. Start practicing for the next one, perhaps. Parallel, though. Oh, no. Tech went down quick. And that's it. Smooth. 22, taking him down with the car SMG. Car SMG back with the crack from Regretful. They're doing a great job holding the enemy team off. But they did get the re-knock, so this is just going to be a numbers advantage for now.
Rotating on that right side, trying to find the answer to what looks to be a very complicated problem. Not only is this platform actually rotating, so, you know, having to keep kind of moving and getting in the right area, but, you know, there's a lot of the players rotating, and then also with the smokes, it just feels more like a conundrum. That's when the exhibit pops up, though, and that is an enemy exhibit. You can see Tech not available in this one. Jumps off the platform, Komitsu and Regretful trying to make a play, and they're going to get stymied by Creeping Barrage, which I think I said that right for the first time ever, and I hope so, because there's a little bit of like a thing where people think Bangalore's ultimate is called something else. Like, I used to think it was called Rolling Thunder for whatever reason, but is it called Rolling Thunder? It is called Rolling Thunder. So, okay, so it's called Rolling Thunder, but I've said that, and Creeping Barrage has somehow come into the vernacular of Bangalore's ultimate, and it is a Creeping Barrage, right? That is kind of technically what it is, but, you know, now I'm just wondering, why did we start saying that? Why did that ever get started? It can't just be me.
What
maybe you
is
can.
a creeping barrage?
What's a creeping barrage?
Oh, I think it says it in a voice line. I've seen it twice in games. It says player name was killed by creeping barrage. I checked legend abilities, but it wasn't
Okay.
something like rolling thunder. So perhaps it's in the
okay.
voice lines?
Look at this. There's something called What is Creeping Barrage? It's a Reddit thread on Apex Legends. It says Creeping Barrage is due the kind of artillery Rolling Thunder is, right? Creeping Barrage killed me, question mark, ranked. Bangalore or Ultimate. Has anyone read of Bang's Creeping Barrage do? Why does Rolling Thunder Creeping Barrage if there's all these threads, right, of this name? So I wonder if this name was changed? Or I wonder if it said something different? I don't know.
I can't answer that for you, but what I
can't
can
either.
say is Parallel got tech back up, ended up getting third-partied by Doja. Doja actually ended up helping kill both teams that ended up fighting in Barometer. I think Tech Still Alive could get the recovery as well, so Tech reconnected. Yeah?
I got the answer.
Oh, okay. Let's hear
Earlier,
it.
it may not be now, but earlier in Apex Legends, here's where the name Creeping Barrage comes from. When you get a kill on this ultimate from Bangalore, it says Creeping Barrage as
On the top right.
On the top right, yeah. And so I'm not sure if that now says Rolling Thunder and that's been adjusted and they've been similar, or if it's always said Rolling Thunder. You know, you want to know what my guess is?
What's your guess?
So having worked in game like dev a little bit, and like I actually just think maybe someone, I think that might have been the original name of the actual ability in the code, and I think that they probably changed it visually for the character in terms of like what it says when you look at their profile, and you know what I mean. But I don't think they ever thought to I changed the code. If that's still there, that's why I would suggest it's still there. If not, then they definitely changed it, because I have a video right now looking at it saying that's how they got killed.
Wow.
Interesting.
So you weren't wrong all along. It can go both ways.
This is going to be a video. I have to make a video about this too, because this has confused me for many years. It's got me crazy. I can't be the only one. But fun little aside there for those watching in the comments. We have at least got our answer for now, as we see our first Vantage being played. Girl, isn't that exciting?
Static plays every single legend. This team likes to have fun. They like to try new things. They like to adapt with different legend comps. They never give up. A lot of respect to this team for doing their best with what they have and trying to figure anything out. They started off with a Revenant, Loba. They've got Vantage on their team. Oh, take a look at this. Fake Preds is a duo, and they can't get Wacko back up.
Wow. Well, that has just served us up a brand new course for tonight's dining entertainment. Fake Preds without not just a third, their seer. So without their information, their ultimate, I mean, it's an uphill battle. They got one kill at least. Might be a couple. Assuming maybe it's Route and Woko found the kills, and maybe Daniel Spams wasn't a part of those assists. But they're going to have to play this one totally different, girl. How do you approach this now? I mean, get into zone, or kind of try to ride that line as this thing closes in?
You got to get as many placement points as possible as them. They've already got that 11-point lead, so they're not too worried right now. But just staying alive, racking up as many points as you can, that's the main thing. Because you never want to get into a 2v3 fight. Doja's been doing really well this game. They're going for that 30-point banger, if possible. They've got another few kills. This is good. They've got a good start. They've got the momentum. They've got the energy. They've got the mechanics and the skills, the ability. But it is still going to be a difficult road to take. It's a bumpy road. They need over 26 points. Over. Minimum 26 to just catch up to second place. But If they can get over 30 and another team dies early,
Yeah.
it's possible. But Titanus is still alive. B&B as well. Everyone's still
Brad's
alive
too.
in our top 3, so it's tough.
It is tough, and I mean, you kind of like answered my question with that statement too. You talk about a team trying to, arise in the rankings, but when a team that's ahead is just staying alive, they're pulling those placement points, which is what you desperately need. You need the placements and the kills to try to like jump above them. A 25-point game, if that team, rats out to second place, ends up being really like a 14-point game. That's like a 14-point difference because, they're gaining those 9 points. They're kind of eliminating the 9-point difference that would be there had they died earlier, that you would be able to, take over them. So it is difficult.
Oh.
You get, because you got to,
Yeah.
like, you get 12 points. They don't get any placement points plus your 20 kills. That's a 28 points. You're just jumping close to them. But if they get 9, well, okay, you're jumping 28 points, but now you got to go down and take those 9 away because even if they didn't get any kills, it's only a 19-point thing, and that's probably the difference between winning first place and making that huge jump versus not quite enough.
I have to mention something.
Yeah.
So Fake Preds ended up third-partying the team that was about to fight Titanus. Titanus actually lost a member. Then Fake Preds came in behind them. It was static. With the sniper's mark from the vantage, took down a member from Team Titanus. Then Fake Preds came in behind, eliminated Team Static. Then they got wrapped behind and actually escaped. So Fake Preds still alive. Titanus actually saved by Fake Preds in a way.
Wow.
Just so much going on here. And look at this BNB playing
my
the
God.
Revenant. Playing
What?
the Revenant. We're seeing some professional Revenant action here as Crown King ends up going down. They've got themselves a couple kills. Keep them up in that leaderboard as well. This is a tough one. All of Titanus is back up and alive. They did get saved. They're actually rotating towards Fake Preds. It's going to be an interesting fight, but I love how Fake Preds takes the initiative, even as a duo, to go and third party a fight.
And look, I mean, Fake Preds is actually on the verge of being able to realize in just a moment they might be running into a solo, right? Axolotl as well, running towards that area where Fake Preds is, so that's right in front of them. And you see Fake Preds, you see Axolotl, they're right around each other. Titanus as well, coming towards where Fake Preds is. And Fake Preds just realizes we're not in a good spot. I don't like our area. I feel like we're just, we're getting surrounded. And they're going to get all that vision right now. That's the power of the information that Valkyrie is giving them. And, they're going to see, okay, yeah, that was good. That was good to rotate. What do we have here? Well, we got clarity here. We got clean area to play around here. They don't realize there is a team hiding inside that building. But now they've put themselves on the outside of this fight, and there's going to be a few kills to pick up if they want. But they don't need it. They just need to survive. That's all we were talking about, girl. They just need to stay alive right now and maintain that distance of first place.
Lovitz is in a little bit of a tough spot here. Survives with barely 1 HP. Good shield battery and good offense. Ooh. But should we have healed a little bit more than that? We do a little bit of flesh damage, but no, Matt not able to finish this one off. It's a 1v2 or a 1v1. It's going to be tough.
I know. And it just may not be enough at all. TGS versus Titaness. And now even more players are getting involved into this. And look at this, girl. You don't see it now. We're gonna talk a little bit about the meta of the movement that's just happened. B&B is out, so Fake Preds not gonna have to worry about that. There's only one team remaining, and it's Titaness who could really push them. OCW still alive, and look at this. I mean, the fact that you can see Titaness in these engagements, only Chris Yu alive for them as Chickens has come into that area and cleaned up the rest of the fight that was happening behind this big rock. It has really, really made things interesting, and oh my god, Titaness was eliminated! Tech, the solo hiding in there, has just eliminated the last member of Titaness. Fake Preds still alive. That should guarantee that Fake Preds actually win this lobby.
But now we don't even know who gets second place because Doja,
No, we don't.
like I said, if they have a 30-point plus game, they could be taking this second place home. So don't leave them out. I have no idea who's got more points. Is it BNB? Is it Titanus? Or does Doja come and overtake both? We're going to have to find out. But Fake Pred's doing an amazing job as a duo. CC as eliminated. Fake Preds is absolutely dominating, and they've got nothing to worry about.
And their spot I wanted to mention, but they took this backside of downed Beast, and they rotated outside of all those engagements with that Valkyrie Skyward Dive. It was just so clever. It was so perfect, and it just gave them all that time. Meanwhile, doing nothing, their two competitors died because they were in the engagements. Fake Preds had just left the area of masterful gameplay, masterful movement. Might just be their season. But we still have more to talk about. Yes, it was Rollers MX who were involved in some of that. They've got two alive. You talked a little bit about Doja. What can they do to keep the memories alive and maybe the hope alive for their squad? We still got Harry Beanstalk, Dinosaur Venom, and Packers inside that building to the far left. And look, the rotation, it's going to show up there. So that building's going to be prime time. And they are running, I believe, that Watson, Rampart, Crypto lineup that is just nearly impossible to siege.
Oh my goodness. So much happening. Only so little time for it to end.
Is Luzoku alive? I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
Doja alive?
Yes. Yep, they're on the southern end of Down Beast, all by themselves. They're doing okay. That's them right there. Triple red armors. They've got great armors. Rollers MX, they're still alive. Ultimate comes down through. Aim assist in a fight right now. Vest, NTC, all eliminated. Good fight by aim assist. But you don't want to see other people taking the kills that you potentially need. I don't know how many kills Doja really needs, but take a look at them. Mercenary getting eliminated. They're going in for this fight. Rollers MX, Memo Kusai ends up winning the fight against Fake Preds. So Fake Preds eliminated, but still had the most points. Now we have to see if Doja can eliminate the rest of this lobby. The pressure's on right here for them.
Right now you're looking at a first place with 8 kills. It's 20 points minimum.
They need 20. They need minimum 26 or more. So I don't know if they have it. Yes, I don't know if they have it in the lobby and enough people to kill. We got to start placing down respawn beacons or something for
seriously.
Those PS5s.
Now remember, you know, they could have more kills than that. You know, some member on the other team could have. You're just looking at one player, 4 and 4, so you can guarantee like 4 kills, at least 4 assists from somewhere. So that's 8 kills, but we don't know what that third player might have. So they could be in a position to have a little bit more than 20, but again, that's guaranteeing that they win. 3 and 7, so we know they have at least 10 kills, right? And so they're in a precarious spot here because, yeah, there's 6 kills on the board available for them. I mean, that would put them at 16. That would put them at, 28 if they come first place. And they have some type of value there, but they've got a team wipe. They got to hope that not enough points were gotten by BNB. Now look at this. Doja going up maybe against the most heavily guarded team. Defensed up in the building that they possibly could. Up on top, LSC holding that high ground. And this, oh man, Packers, Harry Beanstalk and Rampart, they're ready. They're ready for any kind of assault you can get. But in the same way, though, they're a little bit sitting ducks. You know, you got the defenses, but there's not much mystery to what you're going to be doing. You're going to be sitting in that building. And so once people break, it's going to be tough to hold.
Oh, this would be a good fight to take. Try and kill them all. But it's hard. You actually really can't penetrate this building very easily. They're actually going to have to try and kill the team above. If they can fight on top of Down Beast before the zone closes, they have a chance. A slight chance of getting all 6 kills. But hey, let's just take a look and see what happens.
Doja with the Heartseeker. Look-see. Trying to make something beautiful happen, something special happen. We're talking PS5s. And even if it's not, we're talking
big increase to their prize pool because they do have a big game here. Girls been talking them up each and every moment, and we've seen them do better each and every game, and that's why you got to pay attention to see if they can finish the job. Gulio, an LSC squad up on top. The zone has let them play. Idle for now, but their PCs, in terms of their memory inside of themselves, going to have to start running. They're going to have to let their RAM continue to go and let the controller start to work. PS4s all around, but they're trying to upgrade to the next one, the best one, the PS5s. And they're going to have to fight and earn it if they're going to do it. Aim assist on the high ground, couple of shots will connect with the dome, but it's not enough to force anyone back, and they don't need to go anywhere. The team that's heavily defended is beneath them, and soon they're just going to wait for all those defenses to get destroyed, but they don't want to peek too heavily because on that side of things is Doja, and those shots are firing back pretty well. Gulio takes a little bit more, Girl takes even more than that, and Gulio goes down off a bad gravity lift that forces the retreat and ultimately the damage to his team.
Outsiders are going to have to leave their building soon. They're trying to place some fences down. Harry Beanstalk doing his absolute best to do so.
Above.
But above a Mastiff, you do not want to run into that. He's going to try and run into the building, but the building does not have any cover for him. Gulio goes down. Unknown. Can he clutch this one out? Doja wins!
No way! Doja, clean it up. We've been talking about it. And it feels like just like a cat, they have 9 lives. They use all of them there to survive. And maybe, just maybe, make a miracle in our final game of our grand finals here in North America. What an exciting finish for Doja. And Girl, you know, all the credit to you for continuing to talk about them. They certainly performed in that final moment to take the win.
Listen, no matter what the leaderboards show, we know they have true potential to be a first-place team in future series. Absolute banger of a game. They did incredible. Playing from the low ground, everyone was looking at them at that moment when the zone was closing in, and they were able to pull the rabbit out of the hat. They were able to pull off that win. It was incredible. It was a really incredible game to watch. The amount of third parties that they took, the amount of people that they pushed. I am so excited to see how many kills that they had. No matter what, though, no matter what, good games all around.
Good games all around. That's 100% true. And I mean, I just like the way that they approached it. And I like the way this kind of story kept us thinking, kept us asking questions, and kept us wondering until the very last line of text. And that's just what makes a great tournament, and we certainly have one here today. I'm sure those at home watching know it was good stuff, and Doja pulling that one out. So many clutch moments, kind of coming out on top, winning those fights, getting out of the fray. Part of what we saw, Girl, was just avoiding fights. Worked for Fake Bread, certainly worked for Doja, saving all their good stuff for the very end.
Oh my goodness, that's it. Even though they had a rough beginning, they never let their mentals break. They were able to fight through in and through out, and it was just a wonderful finish to end the day here in our master circuit. Beautiful gameplay by everyone, even outsiders here. Unfortunate he had to fight up against a master right above his head there, poor Harry Beanstalk, but that's what happens once it hits that late game.
Certainly. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff here.
Oh my God, 19. Rain Day 19.
That's 31. That's 31.
Is
I
it
don't
enough?
know, Girl, because B&B and Titanus, they stayed alive and they got kills, and they were ahead by so much more to begin with.
I don't know.
Oh, this is gonna come down to the wire. It's gonna be like a 4-point difference. It's gonna be like a 4-point difference. I feel we're gonna really go down to the wire with this one. But look at that spread in North America. B&B, Titanus, Fake Breads, Doja. I mean, 4 different winners. Hats off to this region.
You called it earlier. You said there are going to be a lot of winners. This is going to be really close. I'm going to let you take it away here. This is the bottom 10, unfortunate, but they came in, they made it, they learned a lot, they played well, they never gave up. Good job to everyone in our bottom 10.
Can't believe Static is 18th. And I cannot believe it. 2 points!
2 points!
I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't know it was going to be that close. In fact, they literally jumped up third over B&B, I'm sure, because of the tie break, which tends to be highest single game. I'm not sure if that's the case, but if it is, I'm pretty sure that's why they're third. The money's the same, though, so, hey, you can't get mad at the fact that they jumped from 7th or 6th place all the way up to 3rd, so they're gonna get that prizing. But it's Titaness who will hold on a couple of those kills in those fights and staying alive as long as Yuwu did. That was a big deal in Down Beast Girl to allow those points. Remember, we talked about the placement points to not make enough of a difference. If they had gotten just 3 less placement points, it's Doja taking the victory. And, of course, the shout-out of all shout-outs. We already said it when it happened, but Fake Preds take first place. Congratulations to our winners of our North American region here at PlayStation Tournament's Master Circuit.
Well done by everyone today. It has been a crazy finish, and this is our schedule. This is our upcoming tournaments. If you don't know already, go to compete.playstation.com to get into all these tournaments and qualify for other ones. So we've got Dragon Ball Fighter Z, October 24th at 6 p.m. PT. We've got Street Fighter Fight Nights, October 26th at 6 p.m. PT. We've got Fortnite Fan Cup, October 27th at 10 a.m. PT. We've got Tekken Fight Nights, October 28th at 9 a.m. PT. And we've got Rainbow Six Siege, November 6th at 8 a.m. PT, and Rainbow Six Siege Invitational, November 10th. So if you like playing other games, you might not be the greatest at Apex Legends, but you might be a great fighter. Hey, come on, sign up, get it involved.
And that's the beauty of it. Our community is constantly being built because of the opportunities. And that's like what I say to any content creator, any caster, any community member, or anybody who wants to build something. You have to be there again and again and again. Show up every day. Provide a space for your community to get built, and that's what PlayStation Tournaments is doing. So if you want to know the hub of that space, you want to know where all the magic happens to get us here each season and for all of our days that we're playing these tournaments, it's compete.playstation.com. Girl, it's been a fantastic day. We've gone through a lot. We've had conversations about information. I'm not sure if we exchanged much information during that. Our brains might have hurt. We actually had conversations about our brains and, how to get them back going. We had conversations about what could happen in these tournaments, what would happen, and eventually we were right about some things and, we were wrong about some others. But to close it out, any final words to our PlayStation fam and those watching at home?
Just a big thank you to everyone watching, to everyone that's participated today, that's fought today in the arena, in the Battle Royale, to everyone that's helped produce this show as well. It's been a wonderful show. It's been wonderful working with you here today. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love watching these PlayStation tournaments. I love when it comes down to the wire. It's just so exciting and so memorable.
And, I got to ditto everything that you said, and a big thank you to our production crew, everyone behind the scenes putting this together, and, of course, PlayStation for allowing us the opportunities. And a bigger shout-out to you for sitting here with me. It's always fun when we get to spend days back-to-back together, talking Apex and joking around. Some of my best times online. So I appreciate you, girl, and, of course, everyone at home watching. We thank you for being a part of our Apex Legends community. That's it for tonight. We've had a long day. We're going to crown our champion, Fake Preds and Baguette LF from Europe. Congrats to them. We hope to see them soon here at PlayStation Tournament's Apex Legends Master Circuit when we come back. And as always, my friends, I'm Rain Day. That's Girl. Never give up, never stop gaming. We'll see you all next time.
PlayStation